everybody, welcome to Fourever Rivals. I got it right this time. How are we, boys? Everybody, welcome. Everyone, welcome in the chat. We already got people waiting. Cricket shots. See, look, he's excited. Fourever Rivals. We've got Brandon. He's always on here. Robert Galicchio. He listens to all the shows. Oh, he's waiting for the Marco shit, man. He's got it against you, mate. And we got Jay. Here we go, the Essendon boys. Evening, boys, and chat up the baggers. We got our favourite Greek, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Is my TV screen large enough to fit Mark's big head in it? How are you all? We got the Hi All Blue Baggers. This should be a cracking show. Marco will be up and about. I'm going to make sure. And we got Christian. What's going on, Rocco? I'll tell you what's going on. Everyone thinks that Marco's going to be up. I'm going to fucking deflate his fucking balloon tonight. So everyone get ready for that. And we've got Lewis. He's always on. What a week it's been. Collingwood won against the crap side. Who cares? Richmond, let's move on. Essendon won. So what? Carlton beat the Giants as well. And the mighty Baggers, I think he's a Carlton supporter. No, he's a massive Carlton supporter. I was saying this is I'll give you a bit of a stat about our teams later, which I found about Carlton, Richmond and Collingwood. I'm going to give you a stat later that's going to freak everyone out. So how's everyone? We'll start with Magpie Manny.
Good evening to everyone. Welcome. Hello, gentlemen. Yes, a bit of a chilly afternoon and a bit chilly this evening. I've got the heater beaming down my between my toes, and it's nice and toasty in here. I'm hoping to talk about Collingwood, and we'll talk a little bit more about Collingwood a little bit later. But geez, it's nice to see three ugly-looking blokes.
Have you got a mirror there, have you, Manny? Very good. And then we've got Queenie from Tiger Dan.
How are we, gentlemen?
How are we,
everybody? Oh, you know, Rock. Footy's a cruel sport at the moment for me. But no, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. There's, I'm getting by.
You always show up. Unlike your team, you always show up. You were there too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there. I'll talk about it later, but I was definitely there.
We'll talk about it. We got some more. We got Frankie here. Yay, the boys. And we got Peter. Peter V. Bluebag as always. Quinn TV screen is large enough to fit Manny and Mark's head. Yeah, look, I do have to do some adjusting. I do have to adjust it. We have to get like a screen that fits.
Come on, Peter there. Why are you getting me now involved in this? Mark's the one that's me bragging, mate. For me, it's just we're sitting back and relaxing at the moment. It's Marco that's...
Tony already starting. BT needs to retire. I don't think many people like fucking BT. But anyway, and on the top, we've got our favourite Corton Security Blinds employee, well, owner, really. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, guys. Good evening. It's a bit chilly tonight, isn't it? A bit fresh out there this evening.
It is a bit chilly.
But we are still getting some beautiful, beautiful sunny days. It's
no, the days are perfect. The days are perfect.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna obviously start getting some cold, wintry, winter days in the next few weeks. But enjoy the sun while we can. And good evening, boys.
Start enjoying those gas bills, mate, when you fucking start putting on the heater all night now, mate. Those gas bills, mate, I'm telling you. I saw a lady the other day. She told me that she doesn't put a heater on anymore. She just puts a little electrical heater there just to keep warm, man, because the bills are too high, man. So we're not in a good place when shit like that starts to happen. But anyway, Corton, we are proudly sponsored by Corton Security Doors and Blinds. Does everybody want to hear me sing the song?
Not really, but
sure, mate. We love it, man.
You can do it if you want. I can let you guys do it if you don't want. If you don't want it, but I'll do one. Here we go. Corton Security Line. Make sure you go on there, and if you want your family to be safe, Corton Security Doors and Blinds is the place that don't support a Fourever Rivals and a really top mate. Forget to ring 83394848 all together. And don't forget to ring
833. Fantastic, Rocco, mate. Yeah, give us a call on 83394848. Free measure and quote. Obviously, we're based in the northern suburbs, and protect your home and most importantly your family, guys. So, obviously, just mentioned, Fourever Rivals or the Jumper Punch, and we're still giving that 10% off from your proposal. So, yeah, give us a call. Friends, family, referrals, builders, renovators. We're here to help you guys out.
Yes. What's this going on, Jimmy R? No, shut up. What's going on, mate? I thought everyone liked it. What's this one? Shit, I'm deaf. Fucking mate. I thought everyone liked me here, man. What's going on? What about a bit of love in here?
You thought.
That's true here. Corton, you can rely on them, unlike Budget Direct. And we got the big Christo on the photo there. Unlike Budget Direct, who have been giving me the shits with my car. And if everyone watched the show last night, they'll understand that they're a bunch of dogs. I'm going to say it out. I hope someone clips it and puts it all over social media, right? Budget Direct are a bunch of dogs and don't ever get insurance from them. Fuck them. All right. There you go. That's my 2 bits. All right. What else have we got here? This is what we're going to do now.
Yep.
All right. We're going to get stuck into this. But before we get stuck into this, make sure all our sponsors, thanks to them.
Rock, just quickly, Rock, before.
Yeah. Go.
Sorry, quick. Rocco, just quickly. Are we looking forward tonight to the ocean bet or the footage for the?
I've been sick, man. I've been sick. Don't be fucking smart. I've been dying, but we will do it. You know what? We're all going down.
I'm not being smart. No. I'm just asking the question.
I do apologize. But I've been sick as a dog. You know that, man. I'm drinking my tea again tonight.
Okay.
I'm a bit of an old man.
I thought I'd just ask.
Let me get over this.
A bet is a bet, isn't it?
No, the bet's a bet.
So
I'll do it.
Manny,
I reckon I'll be right. Next week, I reckon I'll get down there. Next week, I'll do mornings at work, and I'll go straight after work in the morning, I reckon.
Hey,
man,
at least with Rocco, you're going to get some good-looking physique. Can you imagine if that was me diving in the ocean, wearing my mankini? Listen,
I know. I think everyone.
I know you wouldn't be able to hold back. I know, but things could be worse. So when things take time, Marco, he hasn't been the best. All right, he's not making excuses like the Cart Footy Club. He's being honest. He's being genuine.
I think we've answered this question before, but Petra Khan wants to know again. If you can just quickly tell us where you got the name Corton.
All right, so Corton originally was named from my 2 kids. So a little bit personal again, but it's Corey and Tennille. So Cor and Ten, which is Corey and Tennille. So that's how I got the name. So nothing to do with surnames or my first name. It come about with my 2 kids' name. I amalgamated them together and called it Corton. But I can also use that name obviously for a very heavy duty type steel frame, which is called a Corton steel. So that's where the name come from. But obviously I can use that depending on the customer that I want to deal with. I'll make them aware exactly how the name come from. So there you go, mate.
I like how you made it fit into personal, and then also the toughest steel in the world. Apparently Corton steel only found on asteroids, and you can't get it nowhere else but Corton. So everyone get on there and make sure you get it. What do we got here? I got another one here. Quinny's a smart one, keeps his mouth shut and not getting sucked into stupid bets. Well, he did do a little bit of a bet last week, and we'll find out a bit later what he has to do. So he's not that bloody smart. All right, All right, what I want to do is make sure everyone catches all the shows. You got all the shows. You got a Sunday show, Monday you've got double. You got the Tuesday show, and then you got this show, and then you got in the change room. But we got something special coming up, and it's almost all organised. So everyone have a look at that. The Jumper Punch live event is happening now. We've got the venue. It's at Lazio Social Club in Broadway, not Broadway, New York, but Broadway in Reservoir. And it's happening on the 15th. Time probably be about 6:30 or so for dinner, and about 8 o'clock. And tickets will be confirmed price in the next couple of days, and we'll be setting all that up. So everyone save the 15th of June, because it's going to be a big night for the Jumper Punch and the Fourever Rivals and everyone else. So everyone excited about that? I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So make sure.
Good luck, Rocco. Break a leg, mate. Break a leg. Good luck.
Break a leg. That's good. You know where the break a leg come from? I didn't know that answer. Break a legs came from somewhere. I can't think now, but I did hear it the other day. Anyway, let's move on. No one really gives a fuck. All right, what are we doing? All right, just quickly, we went down to Broady this week for rocking all over.
Tough gig that, man.
Broady. I don't know. I swear to God, I didn't know if it was Collingwood or Broady, man. It's the same. It's the same, man. I'm telling you. And let's have everyone want to have a quick look.
Smells like shit.
And we might show a little bit more later, but this is what we were caught up with when we got there.
Favourite player in the footy?
Of course I do, but right now, honestly, because of the film in front of the camera, I
can't remember who it is.
Yes, that too, and I'm a bit, how you going? What you say? Mind blanked.
It's a bit.
Honestly.
It's a bit. How you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told you can't film here.
Can't film here. Can we film there?
Where can I film?
Where can we film?
Front, but they didn't really give me a. They just told me you can't film it.
This always happens.
There you go. There's a little clip there, man. I'm telling you, there's a few. As that bloke said, he was a little bit how you going, and there was a few people that were a bit how you going there. So, and then again, what happens? Of course, they kick us out, and we didn't even go into the centre, and they were kicking us out. So, if you stay tuned to the end, we'll show you a bit more of that. And all right. What are we here for, fellas? This is what we're here for. Have I got anything else? This is what we're here for, guys. Let's have a look at this. This is what I hear. This is the boys, mate. We talk about all the things that people don't want to talk about, and we're going to get out there. Seba's always out there. How are we, ladies? How's your back, Seba? How's the back, mate? How's the back? Can you let everyone know how your back is? All right. The first thing on the agenda we brought up, which we thought it was quite interesting, and what should happen is this. Of course, it had to be a Collingwood fan. Given 12 months ban, 6 months suspended from games for grabbing West Coast Harvey Johnston. Since it was one of your fucking relatives there, Manny, because I could see by the artwork on his face. What do you reckon about that? What was going on? What should happen? Everyone can jump in the chat too. What should happen to that guy?
Well,
should it be accepted?
Can I first and foremost?
I think that is. Sorry, wait. I think that was no regrets.
He's got some regrets. He's now got some regrets.
Now he's got some regrets. That's right, mate. Can I tell you? Can you imagine if that was, say, someone like Wayne Carey in his days, and someone did that to him? The instant reaction would be to take a step back, and then all of a sudden you throw a haymaker, and then all of a sudden you paint this ugly picture, right? Now, I mean, I don't know what this this bloke was thinking. Maybe he got excited. I don't know. You know, the other day he was on the news. He was being very remorseful, and obviously he's realised he's done the wrong thing. But there's reasons to why they make sure that these things don't happen. You know, in the past you've seen where there's been a lot of verbal confrontation, and it can get really, really ugly. I mean, it could have ended up being a lot worse than what it did, because there was a lot of families there, and footy these days it's all about families, yeah. So it's not like it was 30, 40 years ago where you get the bloke from the pub that was pissed and go out there and start swearing. Things have changed. So for me, it was absolutely wrong what he did. I'm glad that he was remorseful. If the shoe fits, the shoe fits. The fine should. He's very lucky. I would have given him 2 years, right? But I think the AFL thought, you know what, 12 months is 12 months. What is it? 6 months suspension, whatever it is. Yeah, it shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening. I don't know what this bloke was thinking. It's absolutely silly.
Well, first of all, there should have been,
ridiculous.
he's right. There should have been cordon security doors and blinds around the whole ground, and this is the issue. Can I, before you jump in, Mark?
We can maybe introduce some cordon security barriers maybe around the ground. So, you remember 30 years ago, you could jump onto the ground. And you can go up to players and touch them and pat them and so forth. But I think it's changing.
Just after the siren, people were having kicks over supporters. Remember that?
Correct. Yeah. So it was pretty free willy at those days. But I think we don't need to. I think we've got to be careful here, because we don't want something to happen before we react. So we need to be a bit more proactive instead of reactive. And maybe we might have to start putting a fence along the ground, like Fremantle done it a few weeks ago, because we don't want to get to a stage where obviously a player gets hit, or like Manny was saying, gets haymaker. I think we're getting a little bit too close to the players, because of the way society is at the moment. There's a lot of issues that are going around, and I think we need to protect the players, but. We're in Australia. It's a free country. We enjoy it. We love, giving high fives to the players running along the boundary line. But, we don't want something to happen first before we then react to stop it from happening. So it's a tricky one there. It's a tricky one.
But can I say that it wasn't like he did anything really, really nasty, But the question is,
correct.
What if?
But are we waiting for that to happen?
Well, what if Collingwood was losing, right, and they weren't in front the way they were? And what happens if they were losing, right? And as he went to pick up the ball, he turned around and he said something like, "You guys are getting done," right? That's all it takes, So the fact that Collingwood was winning by whatever they were winning by, and it looked, it's, I don't know, it's. All right, it didn't look like it was anything. He was, like he said, he was there with his family, so it didn't look like he was ready to, to take anything, to make anything bad out of it. But at the end of the day, look, the AFL's got to lead by example, and they've now, unfortunately, they're going to use
the players. They have to protect the players.
And they should. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and then they
unfortunately, to me, the year was too much. Like, let's be serious. I reckon they could have made an example of him, could have put him out in front of everyone and said, listen, I got a little bit excited, shouldn't have get done. You know what I mean? He didn't do anything. It didn't look like he wanted to hurt him or anything. So, but then I also understand that you can't do it. You can't touch him, because if something even little minor happens, you don't want what happens over in Europe, and you don't want fences around the ground, right? This is the one thing that we don't want. So you got to be real careful, man, because if you go to a game, or not that I've been, but I know people that go to games, especially in Italy and in England. First of all, supporters can't even sit next to each other. That's the first thing. And second of all, they got fences around them, and then they got the army not our police, not our security who can't do shit. They got the army there with dogs and guns watching the crowd. You know what I mean? And I don't think it'll ever get to that. We're just a different place, Australia, but we've got to be careful that they start putting up security, and then we don't get that experience we get now.
We are a different country, Rock, in being in Australia, but we're a young country as well. But obviously the European countries have been around for thousands and thousands of years. But it will get to a stage where we will have to be the same as the European countries. We have to protect the players, because the way society is these days, you can't fully trust anybody that's in that crowd that might be carrying something and that does something to a player, and then we're all going to sit there and go, oh, we should have done something before. So it's changing now, Rock. I know Australia is a free country, but and we want to still be out there and cuddling our players and giving high fives and so forth. But mate, we don't want something to happen before we have to react to protect the players. So we're just got to be a bit cautious. We're an older country now, and we need to, the AFL is getting a lot bigger, and people are a lot more kind of, I reckon, more passionate, and it can cause some issues maybe down the track. So I think we need to look a little bit more into the security side of things at this stage.
Darren says that, and the players can't touch the crowd. Then it'll probably get to that now. Right, they'll start to say you can't even do that now because they think you're right. That's it, no one touches, and that'll be a shame. Do you remember when James Hird hugged James Hird hugged that fan after he kicked that goal against West Coast? You know what I mean? I mean that happened too.
Yep.
But it was different types.
But that's 20 years ago.
Is that why he hugged him? Is that why he hugged him?
Because he kicked the winning goal. All right, I think that was his drug dealer, to tell you the truth, and he got him his stuff for the week.
Okay, let's call facts. Yeah,
Quinny,
I reckon you guys have pretty much summed it up. I think I actually don't mind the 12 months with the 6 months suspended. I think you have to set a precedence, and I know he had no malicious intent. He was just being a smart ass, giving a bit of a hug, whatever it was, but you've got to set that precedence that you can't touch a player no matter what you're doing because of what the possibilities could be if you did have the wrong intent. So I don't mind it. They've laid the law down. They've given him the suspension. He'll be back at the footy in 6 months, I can say now, because he didn't do anything wrong. But I don't mind the suspension just because it does set that precedence. And it'll stop people will think twice because, it's something that doesn't happen often enough for it to be in the back of your mind constantly. Now it's happened. It'll be in the forefront of people's minds, and people that go to the footy, they don't want to miss out games. I couldn't think of anything worse than being suspended for 12 months, so I would never do something like that because I wouldn't know what to do.
Imagine that. No. I'd fucking die, mate. I mean, for Manny, it doesn't matter. He can get suspended for 5 years. It won't matter for Manny. They can't even take away his membership. You know what I mean? So,
the question is,
you could actually go and you could punch a player straight in the face. It wouldn't matter to you, Manny.
Fair enough.
True? Yeah. See, when it's true, you stay quiet.
Well, I'm just thinking myself, I'm just going to let you fucking say whatever you want to say, mate. You're talking.
Because it's true.
Just need to be a little bit more cautious, I reckon. We just need to be a little bit more cautious because society.
Well, I can tell you. I'll tell you what, Mark. Mark, let me tell you something. You talk about being cautious, all right? Now, let me tell you, if that was Collingwood Carlton, and that was a Carlton player, yeah, and you got a minute to go, and Carlton, as you know, was down by a goal by the great kick, by the great master, all right? How do you reckon that thing, how ugly could that have gotten? I guarantee you.
I don't think it could have got ugly at all because I can't. What's a supporter going to do? What do you think? Do you think that a supporter is actually going to do something?
I'm not talking about the supporter. I'm talking about that. All of a sudden, if you've got, say, a Carlton supporter that's sitting next to this bloke, right? All of a sudden, you turn around and grab him and say, "What are you doing, grabbing our player?" And then all of a sudden, the frustration through that. I mean, listen, Emotions run high. Right. Somebody told me that you left the ground after the game and you didn't talk to anyone for a couple of days. So, emotions are emotions.
No, I've never done that.
And especially Collingwood Plum.
Who told you that?
You said yourself that you hate Collingwood with a passion.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And the rivalry's there.
Yeah.
You don't tell me that.
When did I say I haven't talked to people for a couple of days?
I'm saying that things could have turned a lot uglier if it was a different situation. That's all.
Don't add to it just to make yourself better. I never said that. But this is the problem. The problem is we've got to stop it. Yeah, what's the note? That you'd like to add sugar to everything to make yourself look even better. No.
Continue.
The problem is
I'm happy for you.
You got to nip it before it gets worse.
Yeah,
and that's what the AFL.
What happened to the old streakers, mate? Get the old streakers back out. Get the ladies back out there going naked, running on the ground. Hey, what happened to those days, mate? That's more fun. Get him out. Don't give him a big fine. Get him out there running on the ground, half naked. Beautiful.
Come on, Marco. Come on, mate. So you think it's okay for some bloke who's taken his 6-7-year-old daughter to the game, and all of a sudden you got Johnny Holmes who jumps over the fence and he's got a pole hanging down to his knees.
Johnny Holmes is Johnny Holmes.
Johnny Holmes is doing all right for himself, mate.
That's a lot more harmless than That's
Sorry about Johnny Holmes. Everyone get on to Rocco Safridi, mate. Everyone get on to Rocco Safridi, mate. What's wrong? He's all laughed. So that means that you've all watched it. So I don't want to start. But you were saying that you see that, man. You see worse on Neighbours these days.
Yeah.
The kids don't worry about it. Exactly. It was a good thing. I'm glad. Look, the funny thing is it had to be like a Collingwood supporter who's fully tattooed and no teeth. Like, that's the best thing of the whole thing. All right. I think we've exhausted that enough. We don't want to see it. Don't touch players. Don't let them touch you. Just go out there, play the game, walk off the ground, and leave us alone. And that's it, man. In our days, mate, we hardly got to see players and that. But you're right. We used to be able to run onto the ground and give them high fives as they're trying to run off the ground. Remember that? It's like, that was the best. All right, what's next, guys? You've got something else. What about, all right, we've got anyone got any questions in there? Or someone, I'm sure you are going to bring this up, but someone did bring up something that I will talk about.
And just quickly as well.
All right, go.
There you go, Rob. No, you go. You got the question up. All good.
I'll just say, any chance Wiedering will take the 12 million Rocco?
Well, you know better than us.
Oh, no, to tell you the truth, I don't think no one knows. Like, it's all bullshit. But to me personally, I think, as I said, these offers get done all year. Managers contact any player that's out of contract. You'll be negligent if you didn't do it, correct?
Absolutely.
So it happens every week, every day. They contact players. Do they come to anything? They reckon maybe 2 to 5% of players ever move on after being offered a big contract after a good club. Not many go. I reckon this is just a bullshit written by a dumbass journalist who's got nothing else to write. Oh, someone's contact. I bet you 5 teams have contacted Wiedering and offered him big money. I bet you anyone who's out of contract, I don't know. Do you know who's out of contract in your side, Marco, next year? You probably don't. Manny wouldn't know. He's got no idea what's going on. But I guarantee any top-end player will be contacted. So will he go? To me, there's no chance, man. Wiedering's already made a statement before, said he'll never leave.
No one wants him anyway. We don't need him. We don't need him anyway. So regardless of what happens after that, we don't care.
You'd sell half your back line for the best backman in the league, right?
We don't need him.
Yeah, you don't need him. I'll tell you one thing. You'll need him in round fucking 13. But in saying that,
we got McKay.
Why
Maybe
you
Richmond
playing?
might meet him.
Why you
Richmond might
playing
meet
the
him.
bottom of
Collingwood
the
might meet
ladder?
him.
Yeah,
We could use him.
whatever. Anyway, Wiedering won't go. Wiedering won't go. He started at Carlton. He's always said he has to pay him back for giving him his chance. He's built some friendships there. Why would he go? The question is, why would you leave Carlton to go to St Kilda? Like, you're never going to win anything if you go, yeah, money. But
Good,
all right,
didn't it?
yeah. And how many players don't go for money?
Oh, a lot.
Chris-
I'm not saying he's gone, but
Yeah, and I don't think
That's
he's
the
that
only
type of
reason he
person.
would go.
Nah, that's the only reason.
That
But I
would be
don't
the
think he
only
would
reason
go.
he would go.
And I'll give you another thing. Next year, he's signing a contract with Carlton for sure. He'll do it this year. But
Yeah, good on him.
they're
Good
saying
on
1.5. Now, you know they always elevate those prices because they're never correct, right? But they always elevate those
No.
prices. Well, let's say it's 1.2. What do you reckon Carlton will give him? He's one of our best 5 players. He'll get close to $1 million a year, I'll tell you right now. So
yeah,
what
I
is he
reckon
going to lose?
950.
Right. So you're getting close to $1 million. He's going to lose a couple of $100,000 after you take out tax, right? For what, 5-6 years? So you're going to lose like $1 million. But you're making $6 million. What's wrong with people? Like $5 or $6 million and a premiership, or fucking $6 million and at the bottom of the ladder fucking for the next 6 years? Like,
Hey,
let's be
slow
serious.
down. Big
800.
words. Big words coming there. Premiership. What premiership? You guys are starting just to play finals football now. Take it
That's
easy.
what I'm saying. I'm
Maybe
saying he's got a chance to win a
Maybe.
premiership.
They haven't even
You
played
don't, think
finals
he's
yet.
got a, you don't think we've got a chance to win a premiership there, Magpie Manny?
I turned around and said that the start of the season, I said if there's one team
Well, then,
that
why you
Hang on.
fucking talk? Why do you talk then? I make a statement, you go, whoa, and then you go, I said,
because,
fucking hell, mate.
because it could be another 4 or 5 teams, right? Because
I
right now,
know. Of course
you
there
look
is. There's always 5 or 6 teams. I'm just saying, why would a player leave when they've made a bond with a whole fucking team? They're playing well. They look like they could be playing for finals for years to now to go to St Kilda. They can't even fucking put 2 games together.
loyalty, Rocco. Remember last year we had this same conversation, and you the one who said to me, Manny, forget the word royalty. Forget the word, loyalty.
Yeah,
right?
what about it?
It's about as
It's not all about the money. What a load of fucking crap. It's not all about the money.
It's
you
not.
know, Cripper got offered fucking like $400,000 or $500,000 more a year by West Coast to leave.
Yeah, but you're talking about extremes.
What do you
Talking
mean
about
extremes?
Yeah, look at how long ago were you talking about?
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. You mean look at West Coast Eagles, the way they're going at the moment.
3 years ago, they won a premiership, you fucking banana.
Yeah, but look how they're going at the moment. Look how they're going at the moment.
Manny,
Come on.
you've got to learn when not to talk because you end up like looking dumber than Mark, right? So the fact that he's right, he's built this friendship. They built this team. They made a pact that they're going to stick together and go. He's not going anyway. All I'm saying is, you can think whatever you want. I almost guarantee he won't leave. I reckon it's just a bullshit story, mate. At the moment, how many players are going to different teams already in round 9? We're supposed to get that Haywood from Sydney all of a sudden. Martin's going there. Wiedering's going. Fuck, it's round 9, mate. What are we talking about, guys? Like, let's be serious, man. Come on.
You're right.
Bring back the memories.
I can't see him leaving either, Rock.
Nah, he's not going to leave, and especially for the Saints, man.
It's all media talk, boys, mate. It's all media talk,
and
mate.
they've got to bring out
That's
something.
all.
As I said, I heard a manager saying that they speak to teams every fucking day. Every day they're talking to teams, mate, about players that are going to be out of contract. It's their job to do it. But so that's any other questions in here, or Quinny? Did you have something?
Yeah. Well, it's not really related to any AFL talk, but it's been asked every week for the last 3 weeks, and I feel bad I haven't answered the question yet. But Robert Glicchio there has asked me about 3 weeks in a row how Elstonwick is going at footy this year. So I just want to give a quick
yeah.
update from Robert because he's asked. We had a draw on the weekend, so it was a very flat result. Just after we spoke about the draws on the show on Wednesday night, we roll in on Saturday and we had a draw. So it was that's how we went on the weekend, Rob.
Oh,
I had to get it out. He's asked 3 weeks in a row, and I keep forgetting to answer the question.
How'd you go? That's all we care about. How'd you go?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing flash, but went okay.
How many possessions, mate? How many possessions?
Oh, I don't count. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Obviously, you wouldn't know.
Well, the week before,
possessions.
He knows.
Nah.
Yeah, you don't know. How you gonna know?
He knows, mate.
He knows.
No.
Nah. The week before the game was live streamed, so I've got the footage of that. So I've gone back and had a couple of looks at that one. The week before was good. I should have sent in a few highlights to put on the show.
So
but Jimmy just asked what was that?
Where are you guys sitting on the ladder at the moment?
I think we're second or third.
Okay, well, you're fighting for another premiership, which is good.
Yeah, hopefully. Early days, but thereabouts. So.
All right. If you want to talk, I've got a question. Is anyone got anything? I've got a question here by Palmer. I was going to get into this a bit later, but do you want to get into it now, Quinny? We might as well. It is a talking point.
May as well. I can see the question there, so may as well bring it up.
All right. Quinny, how do you feel after Tasmania announced Gale as CEO only like an hour after we were told he was leaving? Surely they could have waited 24 hours. I don't think. Doesn't matter how long they waited. And he's a big Tigers fan by looks at it. So welcome, Palmer. Make sure everyone subscribe to Tiger Den. So tell us about this. Everyone's leaving the den, mate. Everyone's leaving the den.
They are. They're all piling on their way out. Look, I think with the Gale news, when he announced he was leaving, I think it was the worst kept secret in footy that he was then going to go to Tasmania. I think we all kind of knew it was picked to be that. As soon as he didn't get that AFL job, Brendan Gale, and then they announced Tasmania was going to become a team, I think most people sort of put two and two together and thought, well, we know where he's going. So I wouldn't have minded maybe, like I said, a 24-hour grace period, but at the same time, I knew where he was going anyway, so it didn't bother me too much that they announced it straight away. But look, I don't think this is a bad thing for Richmond. I think the position we're in, we've had so much success, as Blue Bagger here has pointed out, in recent times, and a bit like Adam Uze did at the beginning of the year when he walked into the boardroom and he saw the Richmond Premiership posters everywhere and he goes, why these? Let's take these down. That was the past. It was great, but that's not where we're at now. Let's build and let's do it again and let's make new memories. And, as much as I don't like to see, legends or icons of our club leave, it's I think it might be a good thing because I think it might be, building something new, starting from scratch. I'm not going to take that down behind me because it doesn't matter here. But I think at the club, maybe getting some new faces in and doing things like that isn't necessarily the worst.
Well, first of all, Seba, like I know Seba, and he said, correct if anyone talks shit about Richmond. Listen, it's not about talking shit about Richmond. They did what they did. But at the end of the day, you can't hide away from where they are right now, right? And if you do, what happens is it becomes years before you get back up there. You've got to face your problems, right? And there are issues at Richmond. Like injuries is one. Apparently, they've only got 26 to choose from this week. I know Mark reckons injuries don't count, but when you've got 26 players, that means your pool of talent is done. It's like saying picking your best workers for anything, but you only can pick them from Broady. No, you haven't got the whole of Victoria to pick from. Like the talent pool is going to go down. But the other thing is I want to ask you a serious question about Brendan Gale. Should he leave straight away?
I don't know if Richmond have a contingency plan for him to leave straight away.
You go. It's better you go than he stays. I'll tell you right now. Because he does not care. He's already thinking about Tasmania, right? And the other thing, you got to remember something. Mate, he's going to be working against Richmond next year to get draft picks, to do all that. I don't think he's going to be 100% in there. I think once you made that decision and you're going to another club, I think it's time to walk out, mate. Put in your vice president. I don't care. It doesn't really matter who's in there at the moment.
That's true. Yeah, and it wouldn't bother me if he left. I think if he had just resigned and said at the end of the year I'm hanging him up, and he didn't announce the Tasmanian news, no problem. Stick out the year, no problem. But I think you're right. As soon as you announce it, you go to another club. I know they're not in the competition till 2028 or whatever it's going to be. But like you said, Rock, it's draft picks, it's positioning in the draft, it's things like that. And there's a lot going on.
Maybe the board didn't want him in there anymore. Maybe the board decided, you know what? Thank you very much. It's time to go.
Manny, he left. It was nothing to do with the board. He left.
How do you know?
Personally, I know he's Tasmania born, and these Tasmanians have a real soft spot for back home. And I think as soon as it got announced, it's, even Jack Rewalt was going down to Tasmania and he was throwing up Tasmania stickers and he's going nuts. So I think, these Tasmanians always want to go back home because they love where they're from. So a big opportunity for him to go there and work. But I think Palmer 3 summed it up here. We need someone who's looking towards Richmond's future, and there's a lot going on at the club at the moment as well. I'm not sure if you boys have seen, I've got I picked this up at the game last week. It's the club is doing their redevelopment, the brick by brick campaign. And, they're asking for donations and it's $100 million redevelopment and things like that. So obviously Gale would have put all the building blocks in place. And I think now that's all, the wheels are sort of in motion. He can leave. And I think we're ready for the next person to step in.
I agree. I reckon it's time to go, mate.
Yeah. That's going to take a bit of time, Quinny, mate, because I think Jimmy had a bit of a point there about, Damien Hardwick leaving halfway through the year. He obviously knew that Richmond not going to get nowhere the next few years. Your president's leaving now. It's some really bad signs, Quinn, honestly. Other teams have done it regardless of their injuries, regardless of recruiting. Your Sydneys, your Geelongs, they've recruited well. All right, you've won your flags, mate. Fantastic, great. But I think Richmond on the way down. If you're not careful, that could be some serious trouble in the next 2 or 3 years. So, you can see it. The coach has left. The president's leaving. You got some massive issues. The recruiting.
You're talking about a team. You're talking to someone who his team has won 3 premierships, and if it
I don't want to worry about what.
And if it
doesn't matter,
if it wasn't for Cox, they would have had 4, right? And I hate reminding that to the Richmond supporters because it breaks their heart. Now, doesn't matter if they don't do well for the next 10 years because they've had now they're rebuilding.
You're wrong.
Right,
you're wrong.
Hang on.
Wrong.
When you look at someone like Essendon, who's been rebuilding
for
20
years. I'm not talking about Essendon, Manny. I'm not talking about Essendon.
Let me finish
I'm
what I'm
talking
saying.
about Richmond.
Hang on. 20 years. You haven't done anything in 20
Doesn't
years.
matter.
And hang on. And right now, me on the outside looking at you guys, I can't see you guys. I can't see you guys doing anything for the next 5 years, at least.
Okay.
So what's the difference?
That's fair enough, Manny. That's fair enough. We've had some massive speed humps on the way through, mate. So I'm pretty sure you understand. What I'm trying to say to Kuhn is that, yes, they've had success. Yeah, don't get me wrong, mate. Mate, if I was a Richmond supporter, mate, I'd be over the fucking moon at the moment. But what I'm trying to say is that why aren't they still competitive now? Something's gone wrong in between. So your coach leaves halfway through the year. That's a bad sign straight away. So he's obviously saying this group's not going to get me nowhere. The president's leaving now all of a sudden. So you put 2 and 2 together and you say to yourself, you know what? Why do we have to accept Richmond are going through we're going to be at the bottom of the ladder because we're shit and we're trying to rebuild. That's a fucking bullshit excuse. Okay? Richmond are a proud club. They've got massive supporter base. They're recruiting and whatever the case is going on between, they might have, like I said last week, maybe got rid of a few players that are a little bit over the the experience now, but look, they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer. Other clubs don't do that. Yeah, Collingwood is one. Geelong, Sydney, Melbourne, they keep on recruiting players to still keep their positions up in towards the top 8. Carlton, a little bit Carlton is a little bit antique now. I think you need to get like a the number plate, the Vic permit. You need to get a Vic permit now to break.
If you're talking us antique,
because they're becoming a bit antique.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
It's been 30 years. So something's gone wrong with Carlton as well in the last 30 years, man. Yeah?
It's been 20 for you guys. Hey. You were fuck you. Fuck you.
Club.
Listen to me. Fuck you before I take you off. Fuck you before I take you off. I'm not going to let you talk. I'm going to take you off in a second. Listen to me. You were doing well until you try to get smart. You fucking won. You won 20 years ago and you haven't been, and you call us antique. Stick to the fucking point, mate. Stick to the point and don't worry about us. We're antique. We're antique. Nearly 7,000 fucking days since you won a fucking final. You won your last grand final only 5 years after us, mate. You've been nothing in the fucking 20s. You're a disgrace. You're a fucking bunch of drug addicts. The worst systematic drug team ever in the history of sport. So keep to the topic.
Yeah. Okay. I'm keeping to the topic.
No, you don't. Don't go give me jabs. Don't jab me, because I'm telling you.
I was talking about Richmond, and I thought I'd just bring Carlton into it. Is
no,
that okay?
No. What you said about us is a full of shit. Because how can you call us that? How can you call us that? I'll accept it from Manny. I'll accept it from him. I won't accept it from you, you fucking drug. Piss off. Listen, I don't want to hear from you anymore. You're full of shit. Listen to me. I only give you my point of view, because you know what? I was completely agreeing with you until you spoke your shit. I actually agree with Mark. The problem is what Manny said is an absolute load of rubbish, right? Because I guarantee Quinn is happy with his 3 grand finals. But what you need in the team is sustained success. You need to do what Geelong do. You need to do what Sydney does, mate. Always up there. There's no use now for the next 10 years being at the bottom of the ladder. And you keep, like you said, they took down the bloody posters of the flags. They're thinking like that. You can't say now. The problem is with Richmond, and I reckon this is what happens when a team is in the doldrums for like 20 years, 30 years like you blokes were, right? And then you get success. You try to maintain it as long as possible. You keep those players a little bit too long. And so you should, because you're trying to get as many possible. But good teams, ones that have learned over the years, like the Geelongs and that, learn to be up there every year. And I'll tell you now, I'd rather win. Someone asked me, would you rather win 3 in 4 or 3 in 20? I'd rather win 3 in 20 and be up at the top of the ladder every year. That's what I would rather do. Right? That's what I agree with Mark. But we've been talking a lot of shit here. What do you reckon, Quinny, mate? This is your team we're talking about.
I kind of sit in between both of your opinions there, because I agree. I think if you said to me you'd rather win 3 in 20 or 3 in 4, like we went and did, like Geelong took 20 years to do what we did in a 4-year period, right? But obviously before that was shit for 37 years, and now we're shit again, right? If you ask me this question again in 5 years and we're still bottom of the ladder, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll probably would have rather the extended stint. But you look at teams like Sydney, you look at teams like Geelong, they've been right up there, but they're not winning anything. So from my point of view, obviously, like you said, I'm stoked that we were able to win them in that short amount of time. Now it's just a test. Obviously, we're in unfamiliar territory. We haven't been a successful team that needs to be in this position that we're in now. So we're learning. We're going to find out what we need to do. We'll be down the bottom for a couple of years. We won't be competitive for a couple of years, but it's the natural progression of things. When you're successful as well, you lose your draft picks that you would get when you're finishing lower on the ladder. Obviously, 2022, we traded in, to give it one more crack. Didn't work out the way we thought it would. But I don't think we're as far. Like we half the team that played in all those flags are retired now as well, which I think a lot of people forget. We've still got maybe 10 premiership players, but half that team is gone now. So it's a completely different side. Young kids coming through. Again, injuries making us a lot worse than what we are. We wouldn't be where we are on the ladder with the injuries. We wouldn't be in the 8, but we wouldn't be second last either and getting pumped by the Bulldogs like we did. So I don't know. There's a few different ways to look at it. At the moment, I think I'm happy with a bit of a fresh start. I think get some fresh faces in now instead of, like you said, Rock, instead of holding on, trying to keep the same CEO, trying to keep the same people in place. Let's move them on now while we still can, and get some fresh faces in and try and set in that new system and get it all in place.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes we ask the wrong questions, right? And this is the problem. My question to you, Queenie, is would you rather win the 3 in 4 years and then in 20 years that's all you've done and you're mediocre, or would you rather win 3 in 20 years and be always at the top? And in the same 20 years, you've won your 3 flags, but you've won them and then you're at the bottom. To me, I always want to be striving to win a premiership. That's what I want, Carlton. I want Carlton to win a premiership, but I want us to have sustained success. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Yeah. I don't want to win the next couple, win the next one, win 2 in 3 years, and then be in the doldrums again for 20. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, and time will tell. Like you said, in 5 years' time, if you're back up there, then you go, yep, you did the right thing. But in 5 years' time, if you're still getting number 1 draft picks and not going anywhere, you're going to be going far out, man. What have we done? You know what I mean? So, man, I love what Geelong do. I love what Sydney does. Mate, Sydney, since the 90s when they could not win a game, have been one of the most consistent teams for the last 20, 25 years. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? And that takes talent, because what you do is, you build a successful side, but then you slowly filter in young kids and you get rid of players when you need to, and you're smart enough to move them on and get someone else in. Mate, but that takes talent. No one's got the right formula. That's anyway, that's my opinion. I disagree with Manny taking it and then just be at the bottom of the ladder. I don't want that, man.
I'm not saying I didn't say be at the bottom of the ladder. I didn't say that. No, I'm not saying that. Of course you want to be able to see your team be competitive. There's no doubt about it. But what we're saying is that at the end of the day, prior to Richmond winning those premierships, they were always, and correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn, but I remember I'd hear you either would just miss out on the 8 or you just finish in the 8, but most of the time you'd miss out on the 8. So, that frustration all of a sudden became, ecstasy. You guys, we're winning, and you could see it in your fans. Now, all right, you know what? You've had that, that small success of, being not a successful. Then you've managed to win 3 out of the 4 premierships. Now, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about trying to maintain players. You got the salary cap, that's always an issue. You got players that want to play for certain teams. Yeah. And that's the biggest. The other biggest problem is that, like you look at that superstar, the one that they were comparing, the one that plays for the West Coast Eagles,
Harley,
right? Now, yeah, Harley Reid. Now, you could tell that this kid is going to be a superstar. Yeah, he's going to be a real champ. But if West Coast Eagles are going to be playing or be in a position that they are for the next 10 years, you'll then turn around and say, there goes one of the biggest talents ever to not have success. And that's what it is. A lot of these good players, they want success, right? And a lot of good players got success through Richmond. And now Richmond, you know what? By saying that they're rebuilding, okay, this year you're having a shit year. Next year you might have another shit year. But you're slowly going to be rebuilding again. So, you're talking about Geelong.
It takes ages, mate. The problem is that to me, and I've seen it, what happens is you think that a couple of years of not going into the draft properly and that, it's nothing. It fucking hurts you. Mate, when you're missing first round picks and you're doing all that and all you're doing is trying to top up so you can, You can keep your team up there, and then you're not rebuilding. Those couple of years of missing our drafts hurts you for years. For years. Look at Carlton when we got penalised. And even you guys, you've said it to me off camera before. Those years cost you, mate. They cost you a long time missing out on those draft picks and that, right? So what happens is you've got to be smart enough to pick the right players, to get rid of the right players. And instead of maybe, look, I don't know, instead of like trying to go for that fourth premiership, maybe start making some hard calls then, right? Because you didn't win any now since then. And maybe, I don't want to say it, maybe get rid of some of your top notch when they were near the end, and get maybe a draft pick here and there. I don't know, maybe, but this is what I'm saying.
You know what it is? It's funny.
Trade another player that's experienced from another team.
Maybe.
We've done quite well with that trade and got some experienced players in our team. And it's made a difference this year, to be quite honest.
Well, that's what we tried to do.
Yeah, you tried to do that.
That's what we did try to do, Mark, with our midfield. But the thing is, hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? Like, I look at it like this. In 2022, we played we made finals. We played against Brisbane. We lost by less than a kick, and it was at Tom Lynch one where the goal review. I still reckon the goal review fucked us, right? Anyway, but the thing that year that I reckon was our biggest deficiency, and I said it during that season, was our midfield. We couldn't win clearances, and we weren't that far off. Brisbane ended up going all right that in the finals, and we were there, we were thereabouts. So the club's thinking, all right, we're lacking midfield depth. Let's bring these guys in. We're not a shit team yet. And look, hindsight's a wonderful thing. We ended up having an average year last year. Lynch was injured all season. Dimmer leaves halfway through. If we ended up doing all right and played finals last year, no one would be saying any of this sort of stuff because it would have been the right call. So hindsight's a beautiful thing. But the other thing as well I want to say, and I think we're probably underappreciating a bit, what Geelong are doing and what Sydney are doing, it's rare. Like, that's very rare to do what they're doing. Like, you look at the teams that did have that success in a closed period. Brisbane, when they won 3 in a row. Yeah. Then they were shit for how long after that? I know they played in 4 grand finals, but after that they went to shit. I remember during the late mid 2000s they were terrible. Hawthorn, they've been shit since 2018 now. You know what I mean? Like, so most teams do dip. It's basically Geelong and Sydney are pretty much the two that just somehow continue to be up there. Collingwood had 1 year where they were second last on the ladder, and then they made a prelim the next year, so they're pretty good at it as well. But most teams do dip, and I think it's a hard thing to balance and juggle. And obviously we're not doing it properly right now, but it's a learning curve. And that's the thing, Mark, like, you're 100%, you're right. It's a tough thing. We're not doing it. I can see that clear as day. We're not doing that just yet, right? But it's a learning curve as well, though. Like, we've never been in this situation before. It's been 37 years since we've won a flag. So we need to find our our feet and go, all right, well, this is how we need to do it. That might take us 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? It might be, what is it now, 24? It might be 2028 before we go, all right, this might be the formula that'll keep us successful for a longer period, rather than let's win 2 in a row. Like Rock was saying, you win them close together and then you shit again. So I think, and like Brad just said as well, telling your champions their time's up. I think when they become premiership players as well, that's when it's even harder to kick them out. Not kick them out the door, but it's hard. Like, how do you push? Like, everyone was saying Trent Cotchin should have retired a bit earlier than he did, right? How do you tell your 3-time premiership captain you're going to leave? Like, it's such a tough thing to do. Obviously, it's smart business-wise, but that's where the club is sort of got to find that balance and be like, all right, it's probably time. So look, it's going to be a long period.
Yeah, and you're spot on there, Quinn. But I think what we're starting to realise these days that it's more acceptable to say, all right, we're rebuilding and we're just going to get pumped every week and be on the bottom of the ladder. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, all right, okay, we've had our success, but now it's time for us to play shit for the next 4 years. I wouldn't accept that, regardless. I would still be fighting. Why?
What do you mean you're not accepting it? You've been accepting it for the last 30 years.
But it's a different circumstance, man. You're talking about something different here, mate. Don't bring it.
You're not accepting what? What are you not accepting? What are you accepting from the boys?
If it wasn't for the bullshit drug saga, mate, that we were accused of, that will be.
If it wasn't,
we would have won another 2 or 3 flags in between that.
What are you
we
talking
will
about?
rise to success. All right. So we were punished by the AFL when every
No,
other club
you
was
punished
expected to
yourself.
punished as well.
You punished
But
yourself, mate.
No,
Don't
we
use
didn't
this
punish
bullshit.
ourselves, mate.
Punished by the AFL. You punished yourself. You're the one.
We had a
Listen,
team.
the AFL didn't say you need to
that
take
was
the
building
drugs,
for
mate.
another
You
premiership.
guys wanted to take the drugs. Now you're suffering. Okay, forget it, mate. You come in the and all you're trying to do is you're trying to protect what the Essendon Football Club credibility. You guys have fucked up. 30 years of giving me suffering. But you wanted to take the drugs because you thought the enhancing drugs, we're going to be champions. You got caught out. And now you're trying to make excuses for what?
No
you guys are
enhancing
shit.
drugs, mate. No enhancing.
Mate,
That's
mate,
something that
move on.
everybody seems to. That's what something everybody, all supporters, all other clubs seems to just keep on using that excuse about drugs and drugs and drugs.
That's true.
At the end of the day, right?
It's
if
true.
there was so many players that were taking these drugs, I'm pretty sure any of those players' parents would have known what they were taking, and it would have been stopped a long time ago. Okay, so
how would
we
they
can
have
go
known?
back. We can go back. We can go back to the drug saga.
You
I'm
reckon
not
the
going to go
fucking
back to the
players,
drug saga.
like the players didn't even know what they were taking. How would the
Correct.
fuck
That's
they
what I'm
tell
saying.
their parents?
That's exactly what
So
I'm
how can you
saying.
trust?
So if
How
that
can
was
you
my
trust your
child,
club?
if my
Your
child
club
come
is
up
full
to
of
me and
rot.
said, "Dad,"
Your club is full of rot. Your club is full of rot. So
No,
what you're telling me,
no.
what you're telling me is that the kids were entrusted at this club, right? And those who were in charge had the powers to be, were sitting there pumping these kids with drugs. Minka, you think they were going to ask you, hey, Mark, is it okay if we pump some drugs in your son? Your son would have known about it, but he's thinking to himself, you know what? If it's going to mean that I'm going to become a superstar, it'll be. And you guys now are suffering, and I hope you suffer for another 10 years.
massive statistic, mate. It's not one or two players, mate. You're talking about the whole club. So
That's right.
If
That's
your
right.
child was taking something, that's correct. You would go to your parent and say, I'm taking this. I'm pretty sure as a parent you would research what your son is taking. Okay, so
Man,
I'm not going to keep going with that, right? Because it's not about one or two players. So keep moving.
But what the
We're
parents
at
don't
a
talk, they
stage
would have
now.
just said, the club would have just said, mate, we're going to do this supplement kind of thing. It's all legal. It's all done. And they would have said, all right.
Bullshit,
They're not
Rocco.
going over to
Bullshit,
their
mate.
parents and saying,
Bullshit,
I'm
mate.
taking fucking
I
A, B,
would've-
C, and D. Well, who
Now,
knew
my-
that? Come
Of
on,
course
man.
they would have, mate.
Stop
most-
making
most
excuses.
players-
Move on. Stop making excuses. You were charged,
That's what I'm
mate.
saying. Move on.
You were charged and you
Okay.
got fucking fined and you got suspended. Stop making excuses for it.
Hang on.
I can't believe what we
Mark,
went on
you're
to.
right.
But how do you keep trying to justify after 20 years, mate? Stop trying to
I'm
justify it.
justifying
You were
I'm just
charged
trying to-
and you were guilty. You were guilty. People lost their
Of course we're
jobs.
guilty, mate.
People lost their lives
people-
over this.
People
Come on, man.
get charged guilty for murder and they're innocent,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
So just
This is
don't-
the problem with
don't go into
Essendon.
that.
It's always
Right.
someone else's fault. It was your fault. It was your fault. I don't care. I don't care if they didn't know. It's your fault. It's the club's fault. It was wrong. The drugs were
Yes.
illegal and they gave them to him. I don't care. I don't care, Mark. It was
I should have
wrong.
told the parents.
Done.
I should have told the
It's
parents.
done, mate. It's done. They were wrong. All you're doing is after 20 years, you're still making excuses. You were charged. It's the biggest
And I will
systematic
keep on, and I will
drug
keep
taking
on,
in the
and I will,
and you were trying
I
to
will
say
keep
it's
on
right.
finding excuses
Come on,
because
man.
I believe in what I believe, mate. All right?
But what you believe, it doesn't matter what you believe because people believe in Jesus Christ and people believe in Allah. It doesn't matter what you believe. It only matters what's true. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe there's a gargoyle living underneath your bed. It doesn't matter. It only matters what's true. And what is true is that you got suspended for drug taking. That's it. Done.
Banned. Should
Finita
have
la
got banned.
musica, mate.
You're wonderful
Should have
captain.
got banned,
You're
mate.
wonderful
Banned, not
captain.
suspended. Banned.
Slash-
Not only banned, suspended,
Ah.
Brownlow's taken off.
Suspended.
People
That's what I can't understand. How can you get
people lost their
suspended?
job.
How can
Come
you
on,
get suspended
man. It
for
was
taking
all
drugs?
over
You
the
should be
world.
banned.
It was all
Not
over the
suspended,
world. Anyway, let's move on.
Like, well, That's tell you what, that rant is. I gotta. You're making me drink after that. But just quickly, I'm gonna be drinking my my 2020 Premiership Captain Edition Shiraz. So I'll be polishing that off tonight, boys.
Quinny, pass it over.
I like it.
Just to get me
Pass it
through.
over, buddy.
You fucking kill me. I can't speak anymore. I might have to drink myself. What have I got here? Bloody hell.
And as the good wog that I am, this wine bottle will now become my my water bottle in the fridge. So
That's
it's
it,
all
man.
good.
You're done, man. I'm gonna have to drink my pamper piece because I'm done, man. You're fucking killing me, mate. This is killing me. I'm gonna take this. Whoa, far out.
That looks like panther piss.
It is pamper piece, man. I've got the pamper in the garage, and I've got to milk him every fucking week, man.
I can't honestly believe that he thinks that the players should have been notified. Sorry, the players' parents should have been notified to say, "Hey, how you going? Yeah, it's I'm the person in charge of the club, and are you the parents of this particular player? Oh, you are. Okay, look, just to let you know that we're going to be giving your son vitamins, and these vitamins, they're going to help him. They're going to enhance him.
Look, at the end of the day, let's not keep going on. But at the end of the day, it's Essendon, man. They've been Mark's not the only person. I speak to a lot of it. They just keep denying it, man. It's time to move on, man. Like, forget, man. We got caught with a salary cap. At the end of the day, man, other teams did salary cap, but mate, we got caught because we didn't come forth, and we got penalised. Bad luck. We did it. We move on. We got caught. We got to move on, man. What's this trying to justify what you did, man? Anyway, let's move on. I don't know where Mark went. All of a sudden, he just disappears. Here he comes back. What are you getting? What are you
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I just got a call from my management saying that please do not discuss anything about the Essendon saga again. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. So that's for my management. That's for my management. He said, stress. Do not talk about the Essendon saga on the show because
you brought it up. You started
trying to
bringing
cover it up
again. You brought it up.
I brought it up, but he's telling me just. Well, he said, "Look,
All right, then don't bring it up, and we won't talk about it."
That's right.
I can't
talk
about it again.
Tell him that I'm dedicating a song to him.
Salary cap and 3 wooden spoons. Fucking oath, mate. Fucking hell, my last 20 years has been like a bloody. Hey, look at this, mate. Hey, we're getting this is better than the front bar, mate. When we start competing with the front bar, because they're on tonight, mate, and just quietly, bunch of dead shits competing with Andy Marr. He's a dead shit too, Andy Marr. I know he's a Carlton supporter, but he said that the Wolf was embarrassing. So from now on, he's a dead shit, man, to me. So let's all right. Watching front bar now and enjoying this stream. See, we can do both. We can do both, man.
That's right.
Beautiful. All right, Mark, was that Dank on the phone?
Yeah,
that was Dank on the phone.
Sorry.
All right. We got this one's a new one. It's a Ruby Tuesday Italiano. Ruby Tuesday is a new one.
I think Ruby Tuesday. I think Ruby Tuesday was answering Jai's question a bit earlier. Is Quinny Italian or Greek?
Oh, I didn't see that. Is he? Oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
So Ruby Tuesday is spot on. She no. Ruby Tuesday must know me pretty well. Italiano.
Italiano. Well, I reckon you're an honourable Italian. You're married. You're into an Italian family, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Of course, they're Carlton supporters.
Oh yeah, where we go. Look, everyone's agreeing with me. Andy Marr, Budget Direct. Oh shit, budget. And again, I'm going to say it again. Budget Direct can get stuffed, mate. A bunch of dogs, mate.
What happened, Rocco?
Nah, you got to watch my rant and you can get it all, man. My car got hit and these blokes are just giving me a hard time. It's not even my fault, mate. My car's in there doing nothing, and then they're trying to like now put it onto me. Like, go and get stuff, mate.
You pay your insurances every year. You probably never made a claim, and all of a sudden, when you make a claim,
it's not even my claim, Mark. Someone hit me. It's not even though I'm with Budget Direct with my other cars. The bloke who hit me with Budget Direct, right? I wasn't even there. I was at work, mate. Like, and they're trying to make it hard on me.
Yeah, always finding
Anyway.
some excuse, mate.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I might put it on them, see if they're going to sponsor Rocco's rant, and we'll see how we go. Budget Direct, I might let them go if they give us a bit of a sponsor. All right, well, let's move on, dude. We've had enough of this, man. You're giving me a headache. God, I hate you blokes.
I was about to have a nosebleed. About to have a nosebleed about listening to that shit team yesterday, and then you're sticking up for them. Fuck.
Well, we're going to talk about his shit team now, all right? So we're going to go into – you want to go into this week's games? We might as well. I know Quinny doesn't want to, but we're going to have to, mate. These are the rules. All right,
I'm drinking. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. Start drinking. Let's go into the first one. Carlton v Melbourne, 12-5, 77 to 11-10, 76. 1 point was a bit of another cardiac Carlton. I think it was who was it? It was one of the players' mum said called us, but we've been called that cardiac Carlton have to give us heart attacks at the end. I thought it was going to be an easy game after that first quarter, but I'll have to say one man for them, Petrarca. Probably had the best game of his life. That's better than his grand final game, man. The bloke was unstoppable, man. But I'll tell you one thing. It was a good move by the Melbourne coach. So what happened was, because I know you don't understand the game, Manny, he started in the middle, and we put Kennedy on him in the middle, and he did not get a touch, right? He did too good of a job on him. He moves into the forward line. The bloke gets like, I don't know, 20 possessions, 5 goals, and almost won it at the end. So it was a good move to put him up forward, and we had no one to think there. Yeah, that's it.
Can I ask, because I don't know anything about footy.
No,
but
of course.
You've got Kennedy that's on him.
Yeah.
Now, if Kennedy's on him and Kennedy was killing him, why would you just move Kennedy along with Petrarca?
Because where does Kennedy play?
Hang on. Don't fall for this trap. Now be careful what you say.
Yeah, I'm asking you, where does Kennedy play?
Well, obviously Kennedy plays. Does he play centre?
Well, he's a midfielder, predominantly a midfielder. He can go back and that, but he's not a stopper, right? So what you're going to do is if you got someone in the midfield, it's like when someone's playing in the forward line. I have to educate you, right? And they start going up the ground. Not necessarily that player chases him. You know what I mean?
Don't educate me. The person that saved you, who helped you win this game, even by one lousy point, was the Charlie Curnow.
Why?
He plays full forward.
Yeah.
And he played in the back because that's where Voss wanted him. Mate, we need you in the back because we're struggling at the moment.
What are you talking about, man? He's been our game plan all year. Shut up. What did you do? Did you speak to someone who tried to give you some sort of stat?
What's the game?
He plays in the back. He doesn't play in the back. He goes there at times. The last couple of minutes to like. Because what do you do when you're trying to say? What do you shut up? What do you do when you're trying to win a game? What do? You load up your you load up your back line, you banana. So he didn't win us the game. How did he win us the game? How?
I didn't say he won you the game.
Yes, you did. You said Curnow. Who won you the game? Curnow. That's what you did. No, he didn't win us the game. You know who won us the game? You know who won us the game? Shut up. You know who won us the game? The fucking team won us the game. Because you could talk about Melbourne's last 10 minutes, right? Because that's when they played. Their last 10 minutes, right? Where they kicked their fucking 4 goals. That was it, right? 3.5 quarters, we slaughtered them. You don't talk about the first 6 fucking goals that we kicked. What are you talking about, Kerno? It was a good move by the coach, right, to move fucking Petrarch, and that's what you do. When your player's not playing well, you try to move him into a different position, and he did that exactly, right? And once that happens, you put a backman on him. You don't fucking keep Kennedy on him. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Manny?
What are you talking about? Do you know? Like, do you just bring your fucking stats? Like, who gave you? I want to know who gave you that stat. Who gave you that?
I saw.
Because you didn't. I guarantee that wasn't you.
It was Paul Bongiorno for National
Fucking
News.
shut up. Like, seriously, that's why you won it. Kerno had nothing to do with it. If you've been watching all our games, Kerno goes back within the last couple of minutes to always stretch it on the back.
Those couple of minutes, you guys were under pressure.
You didn't get involved in the fucking play, you dickhead. You didn't get involved.
Two massive marks.
He's done that every week. That wasn't in the last 2 minutes.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, what game are we talking about here? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hey,
he took 2 massive marks in the last 2 minutes, did he? Did he take, I want to know, did he take 2 massive marks in the last 2 minutes, did he?
Yeah.
In the last 2 minutes, he took 2 massive marks.
I want you to go back and watch that.
What about the tackle for fucking Cribs and Newman? What about the mark from fucking McGovern? What about the mark from fucking Newman?
Yeah.
What about them? So Kerno won it. Shut up.
McGovern was brilliant.
You are seriously, you've lost the plot. Listen to me. You know what you do? Instead of you coming onto the show, get whoever gives you your stupid stats and get them to come on the show. At least I can have a serious discussion with them. Seriously, mate. You are fucking Manny Budget Direct. No fucking idea, mate.
Hey, listen. McGovern had a brilliant game. He
didn't have a brilliant day. He had a decent game. He didn't have a brilliant game.
Considering he came back from an injury, he did really well.
Yeah. Listen, man, if you want to talk about the game, talk about it. But just, you know what? Like I say to people, keep in your lane, mate. Just keep in your lane. You should have just shut up here, right? It was a good, at the end of the day, I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about your fucking shit side.
Last week.
Out, mate.
Last week.
I'm trying to give analysts of the game. Why did Kennedy go back? Why would you put fucking Kennedy in fucking full back?
I asked a simple question. Now, you get very emotional, you get very passionate, and I'm really happy to see that
idiots get to me. I can't handle the idiots in this world. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Can Jesus Christ please fucking strike me now? Please strike me now. I cannot deal with this anymore. The world has become a shithole because of people like you.
Hey, Rocco, maybe Jesus needs to strike you again.
Last week when you guys lost from Collingwood, you turned around
Collingwood.
You lost by Collingwood, right? You lost
by Collingwood.
You Collingwood beat you guys, right?
Oh yeah, all right. Get for the third time, you get it right. Go.
Right. You lost from Collingwood.
We lost to Collingwood.
All right, or to Collingwood. You lost to Collingwood. And you know what you turned around and said to me?
What?
Collingwood beat us at this, Collingwood beat us at that, Collingwood beat us at that. And then with 1 minute to go, you almost lost the game.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the difference now? You guys played 3 quarters of football. They played.
The difference is we won by a point. That's the fucking difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
They only played 10 minutes, you said.
Yes. Yes. Right. We kicked the first 6 goals, and then in the middle part, it was a pretty even contest, right? We kicked the first goal of the last quarter, and then in the last 10 minutes, right, they get a run on. We go into defensive mode. They get a fucking run on, and they get the last 4 goals to almost take the game. But that's it. But what about why don't you talk about the first 3.5 quarters? So we disregard that. we disregard that everything that we did wrong against Collingwood, we came back and did exactly right what we were supposed to do. But your answer is, why didn't Kennedy go to fullback? Fucking idiot, right? And the other one is, oh, Curnow won the game. Shut up. Just shut up. Far out, mate. Seriously. Talk about moronic answers. Moronic.
Do you want my opinion on
at
the
least
game?
maybe you watch the game. Maybe you can give me an opinion.
I did watch a little bit of the game, and it was a great effort for Carlton to win. But was it maybe who was that player that got tackled? Was it Hemp? Was it Hemp that got tackled towards?
Yeah.
Kemp was it?
Kemp.
Yeah.
Don't go giving drug analysis.
Too much,
It's
mate.
not Hemp. That's Hemp is your kind of fucking team. His name is Kemp.
So that player was given a free kick for a sling tackle. Is that correct?
Dangerous tackle.
Dangerous tackle. Looking at the game and watching it a couple of times on replay, I think he faked that. That's why Carlton won, because that should have been not a free. Yeah.
Well,
so,
you're another dickhead. You are a fucking dickhead. You reckon
that's okay.
You reckon in the middle of no. You reckon in the
a lot
middle of
now,
this extreme moment, this bloke thinks I'm gonna fake it.
Yeah, that's.
If you're telling me that it's a wrong decision, I'll accept it. But if you're going to blame Kemp for faking it, I won't even put you on the show anymore because you're talking shit. You're talking
these
shit.
Days,
he didn't fake it. He didn't fake it. I don't want to hear it. He did not fake it. He did not fake it.
Well,
if you want to say it's a wrong decision, tell me. Tell me it's a wrong decision.
It was a wrong decision.
But don't tell me he faked it.
It should have been a free kick.
That's a different to accusing people of something that you got no idea about.
A lot of players are doing it now, Rock. A lot of players are doing it.
A lot of players are doing it.
A lot of players
You're going to say that his head didn't fucking get slammed into the ground?
It doesn't matter if you got slammed on the ground.
It does. It does matter. It does matter. If your head gets slammed into the ground, it does matter.
Okay, so that
you reckon he faked that, Mark?
I believe it was a 50-50 call there. Look,
so what? Why are you bringing it down to a decision? Because first of all, that wasn't the winning goal. That wasn't the winning goal.
Well,
that was still 20 points up at that stage.
Yeah, I know, but okay. All right.
So why are we even talking about it? What about, if you've done that, I want you to get the footage of every fucking holding the ball that we didn't get against them. Why haven't we talked about them? Why haven't we talked about them? Why haven't we talked about them?
It was a decision that was brought up in the footy media.
I don't care what they brought up. I don't care. It was brought up by fucking BT, by Brian Taylor. I would have let him fucking MC my fucking wedding, let alone MC a fucking like a shit game. Get stuff. Anyway, move on.
Maybe it was playing. Maybe it was playing. Playing for the Kings. But anyway. No, it was good to see Carlton win, but you know what? Kicking 6 goals straight in the first quarter, mate. Wet, slippery conditions. A lot of teams don't kick six goals straight. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been 1 goal 5. It could have been 2 goals 4. But they kicked 6 goals straight. You don't see that happen often in a game of football, especially in the wet conditions. Yeah, so Carlton very lucky that they kicked straight because. I've noticed the last.
Very lucky that they kick straight. What's that got to do with it? Why is that lucky? Why when you kick bad, it's bad footy, but then when you kick straight, it's lucky.
Yeah, well, if it was dry conditions, So the conditions that were given to you on that night, you kick 6 goals straight.
Instead of saying. You played well and you kicked straight.
No, I'm not saying
right?
No.
You said that we're lucky.
You're lucky, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You didn't
play.
Why?
So why when you kick bad, you're unlucky? Why when you kick bad, it's bad footy?
Well, you kick straight in those conditions, and that's
no, it's good footy. It's good footy. It's good footy.
But next week, you kick 1 goal 5 in dry conditions. But next week,
if you kick bad, is that unlucky or is that bad footy?
It's not about bad footy. Is that you kick 6 goals straight in wet
So
and
that's
slippery
good
conditions.
footy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good
So
footy.
that-
So
that-
why
that-
did we kick 6 straight? Why did we kick 6 straight? See, again, you're acting like Manny now. Why did we kick 6 straight? I'll tell you why. Because our shots at goal were in a position in front of goal. So we gave
Yeah.
ourselves the best chance. That's smart footy, mate. That's
No, it's
leading.
not.
That's
It's not.
hitting it in the
These
right
days-
spot.
these
That's
days
not
players-
lucky. You know what lucky is? You know what lucky is? Lucky
Well, lucky
is
to
you
hit
beating
six
West
goals.
Coast last week. That's
Yeah.
lucky.
That's another game. But yeah, I'll just look. You're very lucky that you kicked 6 goals in those conditions.
No,
the
I'm
first
not
6
going to
goals.
let you keep saying that because you're full
But-
of shit.
but-
You're full of
but
shit.
I have
It
noticed.
can't be both ways. It can't be
But
both
I have-
ways. Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. You can't
Okay.
say when you kick bad, that's bad footy, and then when you kick good, it's lucky. How does that
in
work?
those conditions. It's
What
very hard to kick
condition?
6 goals.
So what?
It was wet. It was pissing down with rain, mate.
Sydney
Didn't you
kicked
watch the game?
11 straight on the weekend. Are they lucky or was that good footy?
What I'm saying, in those conditions, it was good to see Carlton kick 6 straight
No, you're
goals.
not. You're saying that we're
So-
lucky and we don't
You're
play
lucky.
good footy. That's what you're saying.
Because I'll give you a bit of a concept about that. The last probably 6 weeks, I've noticed that Carlton. I think we're starting to call them the one hit quarter one. You know the one hit wonders. You know the songs one hit wonders.
How do we be one
So
hit
I
wonders
reckon-
if we completely dominate? How do we do
I think
one hit wonders if we
lately,
completely
Carlton-
dominate? Shut up.
Carlton
How do
have
we
been-
dominate if when we dominate for 3.5 quarters? How is that one quarter?
No, you didn't dominate, mate, because you kicked
Yes,
6
we
goals
did.
in the first
Yes,
quarter.
we did.
So,
Yes, we did.
So
We kicked 6,
Carlton
then we
are one-
outscored them in the second, then we outscored them in the second, and then it was even in the third. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Carlton.
Yes, we did.
Carlton win
Yes,
games.
we did. Yes, we
Carlton-
did, Mark. Mark, yes,
Carlton-
we did.
Listen to me.
So it's
Carlton
not
are
one
winning-
quarter. So it's not one
Carlton,
quarter.
listen.
No,
Carlton are
no, I'm
winning
not going to
games
listen to your shit. I'm
in
not going to
one
listen
quarter.
to your
In one
shit.
quarter. And that's
It
a
wasn't
good thing
one
because
quarter, Mark. It wasn't one
you've been-
quarter. It wasn't
you've been
one
winning-
quarter. It wasn't one quarter.
Was it one quarter?
Yeah, it was. First
You're full
quarter.
of shit, Mark. I know what you're trying to do, right? But it's working against you.
I'm not trying
Because you
to
haven't
do
even-
rock.
you
I'm
haven't-
just telling you.
But how
these
can it
are
be
things
one
that I'm
quarter if
hearing.
we outscored it for the first half?
This is the things that I'm hearing, that Carlton are pretty much. in
Who are
one
you
quarter,
hearing them from? Give me names. Who are you hearing them from? Who?
I'm hearing it
Who?
from the footy media, but then when
What
you start
footy media? Who?
researching,
Name these.
when you
Name the media. No, name the media
When
who
you-
said this. Name the media.
Hey, Rocker, can I just
So you
say,
haven't got any media.
Hang on,
So you're
hang on, can
talking
I just-
shit. Let's
Rocker,
move on.
hang on.
Let's
Rocker,
move on.
hang on,
Shut
hang
up,
on.
man. I don't want to hear you
one-
either. I don't want to hear you either. But you're
Relax.
talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
But they're
You
winning.
think that Kerno won the game.
Kudos
You
to
think that
Carlton.
Kerno won the game.
Rocker, can I ask a
So
question?
how can I
Right,
listen to you?
listen. Just honest question here, right? Carlton did play 3.5 quarters of good football.
Yes.
Right now, the facts are that Melbourne did come back.
Yes.
Right, Carlton at the end of the day, you won the game, and that's what's
Yeah.
important after a game like that, right? Because you think to
Yeah.
yourself, we've done so much and we won, but take away all the positives, right? What would you say was something that you found to be a negative out of the whole game?
The last 10 minutes, we go into a defensive mode too early.
Okay, all right.
10 minutes of football.
And that's exactly what happened.
I got a question too,
For
Rock.
example, like I know Kerno in the last quarter went way too early back. We went into a defensive mode. I
That's
don't
what
like
you
that.
believe, Rock. That's what I believe.
What I believe, that's what I know. The point is, it's what it's the untruths that you talk about. You talk about media people, you can't name them. You say one quarter, we dominate for 3, right? You're just making up stuff to make yourself look better. It's not working, Mark. It's not working. You know what you do next week? Come up with some facts, mate.
That are the facts.
No, there is, but they were all wrong. They were all wrong.
Carlton
They were all wrong.
One hit.
They were all
Carlton are
wrong.
One hit quarter
They were
specialists.
all wrong
One
because
quarter. That's it.
they were all wrong. all your facts were wrong. So how
My
can we
fact
dominate
was
one
again-
quarter
my fact
when we
wasn't wrong.
outscore them
Hey,
for
third
three?
quarter,
My fact wasn't
When
wrong.
we
turnover,
outscore them
cost
for
6 goals,
three,
one
how
quarter,
can it
and
be
that,
one
that's it.
quarter? How can it be
Come
one
on,
quarter
Quinn,
when
you
we
know
outscore?
You know
Answer the
exactly what I'm
question.
talking about.
Answer
Quinn.
the
You know
question.
exactly what I'm
How
talking
can
about.
it be one quarter when we outscored them for three, Mark?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
What are
Carlton,
you talking?
no, there's nothing wrong with that, Rock. I'm not saying it's a downfall, mate. All I'm trying to
It's
say is
not
that
true, Mark.
the quarter that you do,
You've got to
the
stop
quarters
it,
that-
man. Look at what everyone's saying about you. You've got
I
to
don't care about
stop it,
everybody
mate.
else.
You're
They're
making
all
up stuff.
bullbaggers, mate.
You're just
They're all
making
just-
up stuff.
Yeah,
You're
It's getting a
making
bit
up
stale.
stuff.
it's going a bit stale, right? They're all Carlton supporters, mate. What do you think I'm gonna suck up to you boys?
Yeah, I
Look,
know, but there's a difference between. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get everyone revved up, but you've got to
No,
come
I'm
with
not,
facts,
mate.
Mark.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
getting
you
revved
are.
up.
Hang on,
You've got
hang
to
on.
come
The
with
fact-
facts,
Hang on,
mate.
hang on.
is-
I
You've
said
got
something.
to have facts, mate. You're making up rubbish, Mark. You're making up rubbish. You're
Hey,
making
I
up
turned around and
rubbish.
said,
Seriously, like John Alden said, you seriously need to watch the game before you talk about it. Like
Yeah,
I can
no.
honestly say, with
Thanks,
your
John.
game, I
Love
watched
you,
half a
John.
game.
Good on you, Jono. Yeah,
Far
look,
out, mate.
mate. And there's nothing wrong with having one quarter of a game where you can go out and kick 6 or 7 goals in that quarter, and that's what's
Are you
helped.
serious?
That's what's helped you guys get
But
over
we
the line the last
outscored it
2
for
weeks.
free, for
Right?
fuck's sakes. We
Because-
outscored it for
because-
free.
That one quarter, when you've got advantage on the opposition, you're taking full for granted of it, and you're reaping the rewards. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
It doesn't
that
make sense,
Carlton
Mark. See, what happens
it does
is
make
games,
sense, mate. It
games
does.
ebb and flow. So you're
You're
always
up by
going to get.
6 goals. You're up by 6 goals in the wet
No.
and wintry conditions. That's a
So
12 goal margin, mate. Not 6 goals. That's
Why
12
did a
goals.
12-goal margin?
Because you're playing in that conditions,
It's good
yeah?
footy. It's good footy. Did you know Port Adelaide were up by 47 and won by a
You're
goal?
lucky
Are you
Melbourne
going to
come back and
say
beat you,
Port
mate.
Adelaide didn't play a good game?
You're lucky that Melbourne didn't come back and beat you, mate. I'm telling you. Then you'd be saying a different
But they
story.
didn't. But they didn't. That's like saying West Coast didn't come back to beat you, the bottom of the ladder.
That's my point.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not having a go.
But they
I'm not having a
didn't.
go
But
against
they
Carlton.
didn't.
I'm
But
just-
they
I'm
didn't,
just
Mark.
saying
Mark,
that
do you
lately-
understand what it takes to hold on to a game? They didn't. You're right there. So next week, when you come with your facts, first of all, make sure you get the quotes from the journalists that you make up, right? Watch the game. Watch the game. Watch the game if you're going to talk about it. Watch the game.
Don't mention our names. Quinny's one of my managers too, I think.
Oh, shut up. Don't mention the names.
one of my
You're just making up stuff. Please, move on. Move on.
Right.
You're absolutely hopeless.
Let Quinn
I
talk.
need to get my thing in. I watched the game, but aside from the last 10, because I thought the same thing. I thought you went way too defensive too early. I thought in footy, 3 minutes is a long time at these days in football, right? Apart from that last 10 minutes or so, the game is an entirety. 1 point win against Melbourne. It's always. Are you happy with that overall?
Fucking hell. Like, everyone keeps forgetting that Melbourne won a premiership a couple of years ago, and they're like a top 4 side, and they just beat Geelong. So I'm pretty happy with a 1 point win.
I don't know.
No?
See, I'd probably rather lose by 60 in that situation.
Oh, very good. That's a good setup there. I like that setup. Nah, just quietly. And another thing we've been discussing is, I'm telling you now, 5 goals is nothing anymore. 5 goals is nothing anymore. Too many teams are coming back from 5 goals. 5 goals is the old 2 goals. How many times do you see clubs kick 4 or 5 goals in a row now and quickly? So you got to be real careful with that. Let's move on. Far out. I can't wait to talk about your fucking Essendon. Here we go. Let's see this one here. 12-10-82 to GWS. What is that? 9-8-62?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're lucky, man.
Well, there's really nothing to really talk about at the moment, guys. Like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, yeah? So,
Yeah.
it was a fantastic game. to watch. Did you guys watch the game at all,
I watched most of it. Yeah.
or you
Yeah, I
just
watched
tipped GWS? Just
No.
GWS.
Yeah. So what? You tipped Melbourne.
No,
What's that got to do with it?
I'm
What's
just
that got
asking.
to do with it?
They
What has
bring
that got
up-
to do with
I'm
it? We
asking you a
tipped
question.
GWS. Of course, I
I'm
tipped
just asking
GWS.
Did you guys, that rock? I'm asking you a question. Did you guys watch the game? What's Carlton and Melbourne? got to do
No,
with it?
and then you chucked in a hand grenade, or did you just tip GWS? See,
Well,
you
that's
say
what I'm
something and
talking
then you
about, this
chuck in a
game. I'm
hand
not talking about
grenade.
Carlton, Melbourne, or Collingwood and potatoes and Richmond fucking Butana Discrachables there. All right. So, did you watch the game, boys? I'm asking you a question. Very simple.
Yes.
Mate, did you watch the game?
Yes. I said yes, right? And then you turned around and said, right? Or did you just tip GWS?
Because no one answered the question. You just
I
straight
said
away.
yes straight away. I said I watched
Okay.
most of the
Well,
game.
it was good to see that you watched the game, Rock. I really appreciate it. And Quinn, man,
Well,
did you watch the
I'm
game?
unlike you. I try to prepare for the show, Mark.
I saw a little
No,
bit of the
let
first
him
quarter.
talk because it's his stupid game. Go. What do you got to say about your game?
It's a stupid game. Okay, then. No, I'm just saying it was a great game to watch. Obviously,
It wasn't a great game. It was a decent game. Wasn't a great game.
It was a fantastic game, actually, to be quite honest, for us Essendon supporters. Just quickly, I'm not gonna harsh on it too much, boys. You know, we've got plenty to go on the show. So, a couple of little points. I reckon our pressure at this stage is elite. You know how they put pressure on the bottom of the game? It's elite at the moment, and that is so. I feel so confident that our pressure is so elite. I'm not quite sure if we're a first or second in the stoppage clearances. That's very important in the game of football now. Clearing the ball out of stoppages. We did stop the obviously the orange tsunami there by creating pressure and stoppages. And obviously, a couple of little players I want to mention. Mason Redmond hadn't really played too well the last few weeks, but he stepped up last week in the back line. Sam Durham, again, another gun midfielder that's coming through the ranks. Nick Martin, play him anywhere in the position. He'll do the job for you. Mackay, geez, after quarter time, mate, squash that.
Can you answer this question? Can you answer this question?
Sorry, Essendon won the first quarter after 5 minutes of footy.
Essendon won one quarter.
No.
No. They
You might have to
played one
research the
quarter
game.
of football. They played one quarter of football.
No, we didn't.
You got beaten in the first half.
We played
You got beaten in the first half. Your third quarter and then your last quarter was kind of even. So you won one quarter. How can you play? How can you think you're good when you only play one quarter of football, Mark?
Mackay smashed Hogan after quarter time. Smashed him like a great, mate. And that's a great pickup
How
that
can
we've
you
got.
think you're good after just one
Cole
quarter,
Langford,
Mark?
Cole Langford, another 4 goals. He's going through the Coleman. He's coming fourth at the moment. Underrated player. So the Bombers.
But you played one quarter. But you played one quarter. But you play one quarter.
Where's Collingwood sitting? And where's Richmond sitting?
Well,
go the mighty Bombers.
I love the way because you were like this last year. But let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. Are the Bombers the real deal? Right? Against the two top sides in like Sydney and Port Adelaide, you get smashed. The teams you've beaten are Hawthorn, right? You've beaten St Kilda by only a couple of points. You beat the Doggies, who are inconsistent, right? You beat Adelaide by 3 points. You beat West Coast by a goal. And GWS have lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're traveling absolutely atrocious. So you're walking around going in fucking round 9, where the fuck, mate, just remember something. You've got the hardest fixture coming up. In the last 9 rounds, you have got, you're playing 7 of the 9 top sides. And on top of that, you'll be playing Brisbane and Adelaide. So tell me something. You're talking shit. I would just relax because this is identical to how you were last year.
No,
you've had an easy run, mate. Let's
I'm
see
relaxed,
when
mate.
we start playing the top side.
I'm relaxed. I'm just proud about where we are at this position, round 9, that we're sitting third, only 2 points away from second. We've got some teams coming up north.
You got to be realistic, Mark. You play
You know, it's
no one. You
realistic.
play third. It's a long season. This is a war, not a battle.
Okay.
Remember that.
Look, I understand that, Rock. I understand exactly where you're coming from because Essendon's got the hardest run coming through, but Carlton's got the easiest.
Yes, we're having a hard run now.
Isn't
we're having a hard run now. We are GWS. Listen to me. We are GWS when they were on the top of the ladder.
18
Then we had
sides.
Geelong. Listen. We are having a hard run now. We had GWS when they were on top of the ladder. We had Geelong when they were on top of the ladder. We had Collingwood, who are always our fucking rivals. We had Melbourne in the top 4. We got Sydney, who are on top of the ladder again, right? So, of course, and we've won 2 out of 4, and we're coming up against Sydney. Yous have played Hawthorn, fucking St Kilda, North Melbourne. Look, what the fuck do you want, mate? Like, relax. Let's see when you start. You haven't played Geelong. You haven't played
Sydney, mate. So don't go just judging on teams at the moment, mate, because any team can beat any team, all right?
I know.
So Richmond bet Sydney. So
yeah, I know. But how long ago?
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question?
Why is it that Carlton has the easiest run home?
Mark,
a club that's got so many supporters.
Let me ask you a question.
They just want the money.
Don't worry about the supporters.
They want Carlton to be with that,
How does that even make sense, man? We're having our hard run through the middle of the year. You've got your hard run coming up. Well, I'm going to enjoy when you're playing 7 out of the top. You've played the bottom 4 sides, bro.
Yeah.
Your percentage is under fucking 100.
Can I ask the question?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It just shows where your club's at. It shows where your club's at. Yeah, it's under 100, mate. It's under 100. And then you say it doesn't matter, but now there are 4 clubs. There are 4 clubs now that are on the draw.
That has changed a little bit.
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question? What's the difference from last week when you guys nearly got done by the West Coast Eagles, right, to the way you guys played against GWS?
With that, we were in control against West Coast all the way through, mate. They kicked a couple of last goals towards 2 minutes. All right, we were in control for the whole game. All right, so you can just keep on saying West Coast, or Richmond, or North. You know what? North's going to give us a run this week. I'll tell you right now. Okay, I'm not 100% confident until we can start beating these teams. All right, so.
All right,
Carlton are just there for the money, mate.
I'll tell you about you, Mark. You're funny because what you do is
AFL
you talk about other.
Finals, mate.
What's that? What was that?
The AFL want Carlton in the finals.
They want Essendon, but you just can't do it. They want Essendon. Why do they want Carlton in the finals? Like, we've got to play those teams too, don't we?
Come on. You know from last year, the ground, the crowd, and jumping, the stadium's moving. They want all the Carlton supporters out there, all the spuds out there. They want them
because we show up, unlike you guys.
It's all about the money, mate. They want you guys there in the finals because if you don't
want you guys there, so why don't you go? Why don't you go in the finals? Because you're shit. Because you're a bunch of pretenders. Like I put in the post today. Contenders or pretenders, and you are a bunch of pretenders. Look at your percentage, mate. Let's move on.
Not about percentage, mate. Percentage got nothing.
I do worry because it shows where you're at. It shows where you're at, mate.
We bet the Giants and everyone else.
Just beating the bottom 4 sides.
You boys tip the guts in. Quinn. Come on, Quinny.
You are just beating the bottom 4 sides.
Come on, Quinny, speak up, mate.
Oh, yeah. I apologize.
Yeah.
No, I'll just say I apologize, Mark. Your side's not as shit as I thought you were, but it's still very fucking early days. But your side was not as shit as I thought you were.
No.
There we go.
Honestly, mate, you think we're that shit, Quinn? Honestly, mate, you think we're that shit, mate? Come on, mate.
You
What are
haven't
your
beaten
thoughts? What are your
anyone,
thoughts,
man.
Quinn? What do you think Essendon are going at the moment?
I think you're traveling all right at the moment. I do. I think you're going. If you think you're going well, you're third on the ladder. You can't deny that. But it's still
Were you
very early.
predicting
Once you start, when we see you guys come up against some of the strong teams and how you go, then that's when you really judge a team properly.
We'll beat them.
That's what I think.
We'll beat them.
Well, if you beat them,
We'll beat them.
then fucking oath. Good on. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's early. It's early, but you're doing well. You are. You're third on the ladder, Mark. You can't deny that. You're third on the ladder.
You've got to know where you're at, Mark.
Thank you
You've
very
got to
much,
know where
Quinn.
you're at, mate.
Someone
You've got
that
to
knows
know where
about
you're at.
football, at least. Who would have
What's
predicted Essendon to be third? Who would have predicted? I predicted. I had faith in my team.
The bottom,
right?
You're playing the bottom
I had
sides,
faith
mate.
in my team because a lot
The bottom
of
sides,
guys.
mate, and you're just getting over the line.
Good. That's what you want, mate. That's what you want. Carlton done
What
it.
does that show about you?
Collingwood used how many games did Collingwood win last year? Just
Collingwood
over the
were
line.
doing it against good sides.
No.
You're getting over the line over West Coast.
Essendon last year, Collingwood just got over the line. It's Essendon. Yeah.
What do you mean we just got over the line?
They didn't get over the line. It was a draw, but you're getting over the line over West
I'm
Coast.
talking about last year. Anyway.
Hawthorn.
Okay. And so you're that cocky rock that you're going to beat Hawthorn and St Kilda when you go to play him.
No, but I'm going to wait. No, but I'm going to wait to see what happens. I'm not going to sit there in round 9, right, after I've beaten like the bottom sides and act like you're fucking like your favourites.
Bottom sides.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. You guys got.
I showed you the thing, mate. You're beating Hawthorn, the Bulldogs, St Kilda, West Coast. And you're beating like GWS. They've lost the last 3 out of 4. They're not travelling well at all. You've got them at their best times. I don't understand what you're happy about.
Well,
now you're starting to get injuries, right, that are long-term injuries, and we'll see if you can handle it.
We've got plenty of backup, mate. We've got plenty of
Have
players.
you? We'll see. Anyway, we were talking about Richmond.
Is it the next game?
Richmond, we showed it. How are we going?
It is. I'm going to need a top up if I'm talking about this because fuck me, that was hard to watch. Let me tell you. I tell you, the only positive that I've gotten out of this show this year is that, Mark, you've helped me see a whole new bright light towards what happened to us on the weekend. Getting smashed is a blessing in disguise. We're going to come out now and we're going to win the next 4 games in a row. It was the kick up the arse we needed. So, I don't know.
You haven't got the players to do that, mate. So I'm sorry.
What do you say about it? It was it's probably the only game all year I honestly reckon that I can say that I reckon 90% of the team didn't have a crack. I reckon all year I could genuinely put my hat down and say everyone's they've had a crack. We're just not there. But I don't think anyone tried in this game apart from 1 or 2 blokes. And it was one of the hardest games of football I've had to sit through in a long time. So I don't know. There's really not much to say. It was just shit.
Hey, Quinn, I've got one thing to say, mate. Do you reckon you guys are actually tanking?
Nah. No, because again, I know that we keep using again. This is the only game I think we didn't try hard, but again, I know we keep falling back on it. But we wouldn't be in the same situation we would be if we had 90% of our list playing. We wouldn't be in the 8, but we wouldn't be second last on the ladder getting pumped by 90-something points. So I don't think we're tanking, but it's also not necessarily the worst thing to be because we've got a couple of, at the moment we've got pick 2 if we stay where we are. So it's not the end of the world either, but no, I don't think we're tanking.
All right.
So out of the I think we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, Quinn, about that you're missing, some good players in your team. I think the top seven, you're missing nearly 7 of those. Which players have come back out of those top 7 players a couple of weeks ago?
We had Bolter and Presti come back over the weekend, and then we lost.
So who were the other players?
We lost 3 players as well during that game. 2 went off on stretches.
Yeah. Okay.
So we had 2 come back and then 3 went off on a stretcher, or 2 went off on a stretcher against the Dogs as well. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
we can't catch a break. One or 2 comes back and 3 go out.
Apparently, Quinny, you got 26 to choose from this week.
Yeah, correct. So
It's
I think
not
we
gonna
got
be
2
fucking
blokes, two blokes that are a test. I think Grimes and Liam Baker are a test, so they could play, but not. But yeah, 26 available players. And Lynch is still 6 weeks away from the most recent injury report.
Yeah. That's a shame. That's a shame. But anyway, well, I've got you, mate. Richmond is shit. And thank God for that. They're on the bottom of the ladder, mate, because
Second last.
second last, because I'm over Richmond and I'm over the Spuds there on the right-hand side of my screen. And Mr. Manny there, yes, with drugs and all that. Don't worry about it. Collingwood, be careful too, mate. Be careful, Collingwood.
What do I have to be careful about? I won the premiership last
year. Yeah,
be careful
yeah. Premiership.
Premiership. That
It's been a couple of weeks in fairness. You've done well, Manny, the last couple of weeks.
He's actually been pretty good.
hang on.
What's Collingwood got to be careful about?
Yeah.
Well, you're the one who said it, Mark.
What are they got to be careful about? I don't understand, man. I hate Collingwood. I hope they fucking misery. But what are they got to be careful about? Mark, I'm asking you. What are they got to be careful about?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah,
No,
you said it.
Just saying, Collingwood, like, they're got to be careful. Like, you know, they're not right up there towards, you know, the top 4. You know, they're just winning games.
It's early, Mark. What's this with the top 4, man? It's fucking early, mate.
Well, isn't Collingwood? They're premiers, aren't they? So they're supposed to be up there, mate. They're supposed to be up at the top of the ladder. Where are they? Where they sit? Where's Collingwood sitting? Where's the ladder? Have we done the ladder yet? No, we haven't done the ladder yet. Yeah. So what? They're sitting about 8.
Round 9.
So you're the sleeping giants. The Collingwood all of a sudden are going to start. Be careful, mate, because you lose a couple of games, you start going back towards the ladder.
But that's the same with you. You know, you're only. You know, like we'll have a look at the ladder, but you're only 2 points from 7th. Like, do you know that? Like, you're talking
no. We're 2 points. We're 2 points from 2nd.
Yeah, but you're 2 points from 7th. You lose this week, you could be out of the 8.
Come on, Manny. Where's the violin?
Come on.
Mr. Professional there. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We'll have a look at it, but I mean, from 2nd to thing, it's like 4 points, and you're talking like you're dominating. You've bet all the bottom sides, and your percentage is like 95. For fuck's sakes, mate. Okay. You are delusional, mate. Here you go, man. This one's for you. Here you go. I don't want to be a prick, but this is what you're supposed to be doing. 15, 13, 103 to 5, 7, 37.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Did you go to the game?
Mate, I watched the game.
I watched it.
I watched it, and I watched it well. Now,
you watched it well, did you?
I watched it. I watched it, and then I watched it again. Look, I think it's important that when you play teams that are down on their luck, it's an opportunity for a bit of a percentage booster, right? Now,
but Manny, they're not down on. They almost beat Essendon, who are 3rd on the ladder, so they're not down on their luck.
Well, I can tell you right now, Essendon is like a prostitute that doesn't know whether she wants it or she doesn't want it, right? They've got no fucking idea. Essendon at the moment don't know whether they want to play football or they don't want to play football. Okay, now, I can tell you right now, last week I asked him the question. He said to me, if it wasn't for West Coast scoring those 2 quick goals that were, I honestly don't understand. But I can tell you right now, the only good thing that came out of our game, I mean, apart from the fact that it was a bit of a percentage booster, was that it gave an opportunity to a lot of these young players gave an opportunity to a lot of these young players to showcase their themselves, and there was a lot of good things that came out of it. Now, Jeremy Howe injured himself, which is huge for us. We've got a number of injuries at the moment, and you know what? This is what we were talking about the other day.
What's happened to Jeremy? How long?
I reckon it's going to be at least 4 weeks, maybe longer. Now, we were talking about this a few days ago. The next 4 or 5 weeks are going to rely hard on what players you've got fit enough to put on the ground. Yeah, because the weather's getting bad. It's starting to get slippery. The grounds are starting to get slippery, right? And a lot of things like that change. Like usual, our usual superstars did really, really well. And you know what? It was just nice to see a lot of these young players who showcased themselves, and it was great. Now, having said that, when I saw West Coast Eagles lose by a goal, I thought, shit, you know what? Maybe they are the silent and deadly team that's just keeping themselves, below the radar. But no, it's fair to say that Collingwood did well. I'm not convinced about Essendon. I still reckon Essendon is probably the shittest team I've ever come across. But, I'll let Mark be a daydreamer. But, yeah, look, was it a good game to watch? Look, when you see your team win by 10 goals, you're always happy. But, it wasn't, you can't sit here and say that, yeah, sure, we're in the 8. But it's now we're going to get down towards the business end of the season where we're going to start playing, your Geelongs. We're going to start playing, Sydney Swan. We're going to start playing, we're going to play, teams that are at the moment showing that they are, knocking on the top 4. Essendon at the moment, I'm still not convinced. Still not convinced.
Sorry, guys, I just had to
call Mark to tell him to stop making him look bad.
Sorry, Manny, I just had to check the oven to make sure my pies are hot tonight instead of cold. So my apologies for leaving. Okay.
Let me tell you something, mate. There's nothing cold about the pies. We were 0-3, and people say, "Oh, get ready for 0-4." Well, guess what?
Oh my God! Hey, listen. I don't know what's happening to the world, but now Justin's reckons that Manny knows more about football than Mark. We are in trouble, man.
Let's see. It's good to see. It's good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, let's have a look at this ladder. This is the one that he is so happy about in round 9. Who wants to read it? Usually it's Manny. Do you want to read it, Mark, since you're so happy?
No, this is Manny's job, mate, not mine. No, I don't need to change anything.
Okay. All right. Well, look, the one team that still shows that they got the style and they got the class is Sydney Swans. Geelong, they've had a couple of losses now, so Geelong can be a little bit. I'm not sure at the moment, but the Bombers. Look at that; they're 2 points outside of being second. So they're a team, that super team, and what's that? Is that 98.3%? Wow.
They're also 4 points from being 8th.
Yep. You got Carlton, who's 7th. You got the Magpies with the 8th position, and of course you've got Richmond that is just sitting there.
Pretty bad, man.
It's
One win.
Yeah.
Would you tell me something, Quinny?
Yeah.
Would you prefer North to beat Essendon this week and then take you off the bottom of the and then you go to the bottom of the ladder? Would that be something? Will you be going for North this week?
I would make that trade. We're shit anyway. It doesn't matter if we're second bottom or bottom. We're shit.
I know.
Give us that number 1 pick.
All right, so that's the ladder. It's a top 3. That was a top. Yeah, as I said, it's early days, man. It's still a long. The best thing you can do now is just make sure you get your players back for near the end. Make sure that you're firing at the end. Again, Mark, I could replay round 9 last year, and you're exactly the same. And then where did you end up? So you can keep going. But I will give you something. Did I put it in here? Oh, look at this. Did you know this? Have a look at this. The AFL's top big three. I don't know why they put Essendon in that top big three. But anyway, Essendon, Collingwood, and Carlton, only time they've been in finals together is 84, 09, and 11.
Wow. Yeah, it'd be good to see, wouldn't it? Fantastic to see.
I can't believe that that's the only years that we've all been. I don't know, mate. That's that. You'd think there'd be more than that were in the same in the top. Well, and there used to be top 5, top 6, and all that. So
well, Collingwood's been playing consistent finals football, but and Carlton's come back into the
years. Well, we've made finals in those, and Essendon has too. They just haven't won a final.
Yeah. That's right.
I remember 2011 fine, mate. I do remember. Do you remember 2011, Mark?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I remember it really well, but yeah, we'll just keep moving on from that.
Yep. Do you remember what happened in that first final?
It's okay. Move on. We move on. That's the history. That's history. I'm looking for future.
I might have to hang up the boots according to that graphic. If there's only a big 3 and there's no big 4, I might as well
you'll be right, mate. Quinn, you know what, Quinn? I reckon you guys might win the next 10 games and you'd be challenging for the 8. Mate.
I think they've said
like Rocco was saying, it's only early in the season. It's round 10. We're about halfway, but it's only early in the season.
Said that, Quinny, because we're all in the 8. I think that's why.
Rocco, forgive me for my ignorance, Rocco. But is there any chance? Because
it's not your fault.
No, that's right. Now, can you maybe tell us a little bit more about 2011? Because a lot of our viewers probably don't know. And
Carlton played Essendon in a final, and I think we won by 68 points. I think in that final. That's what Essendon does. They make it every once in a while, and then they get absolutely smashed when they get there. That's if they make it.
Do you think
perhaps it was that game that may have forced the Bombers to end up resulting in the narcotic saga, or was that prior to that?
What's this?
Well, the fact that Essendon lost by 68 points, do you reckon that maybe that was the result that then, hit the pressure for the team and then they hit the drugs and all that?
Because they did the drug things in 13.
Right. Okay.
It was 2 years later and you remember 13, don't you, Quinn?
No. No, I don't.
But
I remember.
That was.
I remember round 1.
In actual fact, that's when they. You're probably right, man. In 2011, when they got smashed, they thought we got to do something. You know what I mean? There you go. 149 to 87 was the score.
Okay.
Wow. So you could,
mate, Manny. That was a great question, Manny. See, that's what I like. I like a bit of research.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just throwing stuff out, mate.
Well, I'm just trying to establish. There's got to be a reason behind why Essendon did what they did. You know what I mean? There's got to be something behind it. So I'm just thinking maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know.
Well, look, at the end of the day, you don't want to keep going on about it, but I just thought they decided to cheat the competition to get a win. That's all I thought it was. Anyway, Robbie Cockrell, fantastic show, guys. Well, Robbie Cockrell is a fan of the show, and he hasn't been around. He has been on social media, but he kind of disappeared for a while. And him and his beautiful wife, they've had a baby, and I know he plays in a band. So if you want to give your band a bit of a plug on here, go for it,
Yeah.
Robbie. But he was a great fan, so good to see him back.
Not the best going to watch a live band, mate.
Far out, mate. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I keep doing the wrong one here. Manny's oozing football knowledge. Bravo.
Ευχαριστώ.
All right, we move in. All right, you want to move into next week's games, and let's start doing this tipping. My God, can we? This is going on for a long time, but I hope everyone's enjoying it. Well, the people are still there, so hope everyone is. Everyone enjoying it? Do we have to do something? Welcome back, mate. Yes, welcome back to the thing. Is everyone enjoying it? Make sure you smash the like button. Smash the like button, because it does help us, and subscribe. You might not think it does a lot, but trust me, for the algorithms and that, it does heaps, man. If you smash it and share it. I love the show. Everyone's saying awesome show. I'm glad. Did you like my 2-hour rant?
Yes.
Only Mark and Manny can do that to me, man. It doesn't take.
Don't get me involved with him, man.
But you've done that before. You started the whole rant with your crap, and then you continued on with more crap. God, I can't take. I'm telling you, Seba. Oh, thanks very much, Seba. Bit of a tight ass, $2.99. You can do a bit more than that, I reckon. Let's go. Up the likes, guys. Loving the show. I think he's 100%. Come on, man. Push the bloody like button, man. It's not hard.
No. I've noticed, hey, guys, just quickly before we go into our tips in our games, I've just noticed that Rocco and Manny are starting to become a little bit like, they start to become like close. You know, you're starting to get along really well. The last
I gave it to Manny before for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? I react to you, Mark. I react to what's coming at me. So if you throw something at me, I'll react. At the moment, it's you that's getting me going, mate. Like,
it's okay, mate. I need to get you going, mate. I need to wake you up, Rock, mate.
I love it.
I've just noticed the last probably 4 or 5 weeks that you and Manny are really like it.
But is that me or is that Manny? Is that Manny taking it easy?
No, you and Manny have been like pretty close. You were talking about the rivalry game between Collingwood and Carlton. So I'm thinking, I don't know if you guys should be maybe introducing your own show. Like maybe we'll call it the Rocco and Manny show.
Would everyone like a Rocco and Manny show?
Oh, hold on a minute. I'm getting some text. No, they're saying, hold on. Sorry, guys.
Getting some text. You couldn't even fucking get the volume going before.
I've just got some texts about the new show that you guys should be starting. Some names. What about the Beavis and Butthead show?
You could do that on your own, mate.
Dumb and Dumber.
You could do that on your own, Mark. Dumb and Dumber.
Hold on. They're all coming through, mate. Look at them. Laverne and Shirley.
Hey, that was a good fucking show, Laverne and Shirley.
Lauren Hardy.
What is it?
The first is empty, Jason. The first is empty.
These are the mess up, mate. These are flying through. So if you guys have got some names for a show for Magpie Manny and Rocco, but hey, hold on for a second. Kath and Kim.
Yeah, but you can do a show on your own. Call it
First of all,
call it the cock.
Hold on, quickly.
Now that's better, Seba.
Coming through
$7.99. $7.99.
Bananas in pajamas.
Sorry for being a gypsy tight ass.
Hey,
you are. I'm glad that you made up for it. Thank you very much, Seba.
One more name for you guys' show: the Cold Pie and Spud Show.
What do you do? You can do your own show. Hey, Rocco, he can do his own show. The Cockhead.
That's a good one.
Hey, mate, Mark, you've turned bloody. Mark,
have you
you've
got- have
turned
you got
Justin
the,
into an alcoholic, mate.
Poor Justin's
go.
sitting there and he's
But instead of that,
Start
what I want
Hunch.
to do is, here we go, and people already know what I was about to say. Your show, Mark, should be Mr. Bean. So what I want everyone to do is I want to do, if Mark does a show on his own, what would it be called?
No.
Yeah.
It's the Magpie Mini and Rocco show. Quinn, I need you to get some other couple shows and tell me. Mate, I wouldn't put like Tango on
Mr. Bean
cash.
makes more sense in
I
his
wouldn't
show
put Tango
than
on
what you
cash.
do, and
Tango
Mr. Bean
on
doesn't
cash.
call.
Bang.
Hey, let's go another one. The Benny Hill show. The Benny Hill.
Mr. Sohan.
Just quietly, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the Zohan. The Mama Look show.
Oh yeah, that's the
I'm not
one.
gonna-
That's for
mate,
you, man.
Rock.
The
Rocco,
Mama Look
I'm
show.
sorry, man. These guys, the texts that I'm getting from my friends and all that, mate, they're flying through, man. Mate, I can keep going. The Wiggles, mate. Oh, just another one.
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question? Are these drug suppliers? What do? They do trafficking? What
Oh,
are they?
mate, I've got a lot of contacts, mate. Be careful. Oh. Be
I
careful.
reckon a good name for your show would be Cops.
you might have to give me a call to get some security doors at your promises, mate.
A good show, a good name for you would be like Cops.
No.
Cocaine,
Don't start bringing
the
this segment.
cocaine bear.
Don't bring this segment, mate. Get the
What was it,
viewers, get the
cocaine
viewers.
bear? I reckon your
Get the
show should be
viewers.
called Scarface.
Or better still, call yourself
See?
the sniff show.
Let's go to the tips.
Matula, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad should be your show. Trying to do the lab. Narcos.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Love that. Breaking Bad.
Cocaine. You started this, Mark. Cocaine Cowboys.
Here you go. My
That's
father-in-law's getting involved. The Bomber Drug Show.
Which was your father-in-law?
Him, Vince.
Oh,
Vincenzo.
hey, Vincenz. We love Vincenz. Hey, Vincenz. Mark's show should be called the Bomber Drug Show. Nice and simple.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
That's all right.
That one was straight, Manny. What
Yeah,
do we got here?
John,
Drugs are bad.
that was another one. Tony, Cheech and Chong. It was texted to me, but I didn't want to say Cheech and Chong, but we'll go Cheech and Chong.
That's for you, Mark. That's Cheech and Chong. That's
No,
having bongs in the car.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. I can't be Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
That's
You're
what I mean.
and Manny.
That's what I mean.
The show
You're
is
that
about
bad.
joint.
You're that bad. You were too.
Call yourself the joint.
See, the concept now has changed. Yeah. So I'm picking some shows between you guys. Now it's all about me. It's about me. I'm just get some names going, guys. Come on. You're weak. You're all weak, mate. You're all just whining about
They're
what
the
I was going to
ones,
say.
Miami
Oh.
boys. They're the ones bringing it up.
Yeah. In your case, it would be Miami Ice.
Was that up there, or did you just make that up?
Well, somebody said Miami Vice, so I said we might as well call it Miami Ice.
Mate, that's it. We've got it. There's going to be a new Essendon show. It's called Miami Ice.
No,
Hey, Robbie, tell us what your band's called.
I have to, through my management, I have to pick a show for you boys, Rocco and Magpie Manny, for next week. So I have to pick out of all my texts and comments which one out of those ones that I just mentioned. Do you want me to go through them again?
How about you start a band? Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I'll play the drums. If you want to join me, boys, you play the guitar. Quinn, what do you do? Play the keyboard or the flute?
I actually used to play the guitar. There you go.
They're loving Manny the King. That's why he's been. Hey, listen, but what you were talking, Mark, before was shit, because I fucking ripped into Manny big time before I ripped into you. So I don't know where that's coming from. Mate, the audience is such. I love the audience. Ice, baby, ice, baby.
Look, the only reason why I mention it, and I did say
Manny
it
Vanilla.
from the start, is that I've just noticed that
Manny
you and
Vanilla.
Manny are just becoming.
Blame
you're
it
jumping
on
into
the
bed together,
rain
mate.
falling.
Oh, they reckon you should call your show the Muppet Show.
Like his animal.
The Muppet Show.
Your animal from the. And you love your heavy metal too. I know that much.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Robbie. What's he saying? My wife and I can't wait to come on the Jumper Punch live show. Yeah, so everyone make sure you get ready for the Jumper Punch. If you think this is fun, because I'll tell you now, the boys are going to come up on stage that night. So if you think this is going to be big, there might be a fight on stage. I'm just telling you, right? I don't know. But there might actually be some punching on the stage. Yeah, I know. You're right. This show is going all night. Far out. All right, let's go. We're gonna go into next week. First game.
Alrighty, Suns versus Cats up in Darwin, TO Stadium in Darwin, and I'm going Geelong.
I'm gonna go for the Suns.
I'm gonna go with Manny, and not because I'm going with him, Mark, because you started, but I think the Suns only because Cameron and Hawkins are both out this week, and the Gold Coast are a bit different up there, so I'm gonna go for the Suns.
Yep. Good point there. Good point there, Rocco. Gold Coast for me as well, my friend.
All right. So we got three Suns and a Geelong. I like it. All right. Next one is, I think this is between me and you. This is the match of the round for sure. Sydney Swans v Carlton, first v 7th. Friday, 17th of May, SCG, big game, midfield, defense, forward. You say that we kicked 6 goals straight and we were lucky. What does that make Sydney? They kicked 11 goals straight. At one stage, I looked at the score and it was 11-1 to 1-11. Now, Fremantle did just a quick one, side kind of note before we get back to the Carlton. Do you think the McCarthy death kind of affected, because he did play for both sides, but Fremantle were really affected and they did not look like they were into that game at all?
No, 100% it had an impact. You could see it on the players pre-game when they were doing the the moment of silence, and you saw a few of them bawling their eyes out. It 110% made a big difference. If you lose a mate, especially someone you played football with, you've gone out and you've fought alongside him on the football field, that would rock you as a player. So I think it absolutely had an effect. I'm not saying they would have beaten Sydney if that hadn't have happened, but it definitely had an impact.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'm assuming it did because they got smashed up there. But Sydney were lucky to kick 11 goals straight. What do you reckon, Quinny? Were they lucky to kick 11 goals straight?
Yeah, you can't do that off skill. That's very lucky.
It's all luck. It's all luck.
That's correct. Exactly. Spot on. Quinn can't do it in luck. But yeah, that was so sad regarding that player. Do you reckon they should have postponed that game because it's like a work? Okay, just like a workplace where someone passes, you don't go to work that next day. Obviously, it was within 24 hours, but I believe maybe they should have postponed it and had it for maybe a Sunday. But it is what it is. But I reckon
it's too hard to do, and to tell you the truth, you just got to get it. I don't know.
In a perfect world, Mike, I reckon that wouldn't be the worst idea. It's too, I think with Rock said, it's just too hard to do. So last minute, trying to change things around. The AFL can barely get their fixtures out already,
and that would have affected Fremantle because it was pretty within 20, not even 24 hours. So to get that news 100%. And go out and play football, that'd be a tough gig, mate. So, Yeah, it's sad to hear, man. But we must go on, I guess.
Yeah, so we must go on. It's going to be Carlton. I look. I'm going to predict the first quarter score, right? I don't know what's going to happen after that, right? But I reckon in the first quarter it's going to be Carlton 6 goals straight to Sydney 11 goals straight. That's my prediction. And then I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the game. So I'm going for Carlton, and yeah, that's it. I think
Can I
Carlton
ask,
will win.
what are your, have you got any ins this week?
We've actually got outs, not ins. Chera's out. Martin, I heard today, stress fracture again. Or no, sorry, not a stretch fracture, calf. So have we got any ins? I don't think we've got any ins this week. Next week we're going to start getting, I think, Sard and Fogarty might be starting to come back, which is going to be big for us. But no, we've got outs, not ins. We've got outs, not ins.
I reckon Matula might be your lucky charm because she's
I'm going
going
for the
down
game.
there. So
Good luck.
I'm gonna say Carlton.
Cots is out too. That's another one. So we got some damage this week. So
you still got your towers in front.
Look, I still think we've got enough talent to beat them. I think they're missing one of their backmen. I forget his name. If I can't remember.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's out and he's important to them. We're going to stretch him out there, which we always do. Midfield's going to be a battle. Heaney's playing some good fucking footy. But so is Walsh and Cripper. TDK. Oh, yeah, and hopefully Pitts is all right because he dislocated his finger and he had to operate on it. So he's another one coming in. And Grundy's playing some good footy. Even last year when we weren't playing too well, I mean, we almost got him up there instead of the unlucky mark last year for us. We didn't kick straight. It was very unlucky. I wish we were a bit more luckier, but we weren't. And so with those, we're going to bring in some youngsters. I think maybe Binns hopefully gets a shot. I hope they don't bring in someone like Fantasia, but they might. Oh, Williams is actually coming back this week, so that'll be a good one for us. Yeah, I reckon us another nail biter under 2 goals.
I think if it gets to within that sort of margin late, I think Carlton end up winning.
Well, we can do it. We show we can do it. So if we do get there, we know how to play the game. Maybe if it's like 3 points, I hope we lose by 69. Like I'd rather lose by 69 than win by 3. So I'm a bit like I don't know how I feel this week. But what's your predictions, Quinny and Mark?
Sydney are the obvious choice, but I don't know. There's something about Carlton when they're up and about as well. If they can get up there and get it done, I'm gonna go the safe option with the Swans this week, just because of the couple of outs that you guys have. I think they might hurt a little bit.
Completely understand. And you, Marco, we always
flip of the coin from you, boys. Flip of the coin.
Oh, I like it.
Good game.
So it's heads. Sydney for me.
All right.
All righty.
Yeah,
Manny.
that's all. Like the next one is it's Manny's game. So this is this one here: Collingwood versus Kuwarna.
Kuwarna.
Because that's right, it's a Doug Nichols round. It's the Indigenous round this week, so all the tops. I think it goes for the next 2 weeks, but it is a Doug Nichols round this week. Saturday, the 18th of May, and it's at the MCG, and it's a 1:45 game.
Yeah, no.
Primetime slot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Magpies here comfortably.
Yeah, I'm going to go Collingwood as much as I don't want to. I'll be saying Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Yeah, Collingwood, just.
Collingwood. Next one.
Danger game. It's Giants taking on the Doggies. and big danger game for the Giants here because they lose another one. They just really start to slip way more. But it's in Sydney. Never Engie Stadium. Anyone heard of that? Engie Stadium?
I was when I seen it because when I don't know, but is that just the indigenous name?
Well, I'm looking it up. Unless it's changed.
Yeah.
Sydney Showgrounds. Because it might be their ground, but it's just changed names. You know when they, someone else buys their own rights to their ground or whatever. Anyway, it's in Sydney. I'm going Giants because Dogs seem to win one week and lose the next two, so I'm going to go the Giants.
Yeah, Giants for me.
I'm doing the same.
Yeah. I think the Giants will bounce back this week.
But I'm telling you because I know, Mark, you said you beat them, but they have been in terrible. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They're good players, and they also lost Kelly this week and someone else.
Yeah.
So Kelly's out and another.
Yeah, but other teams are obviously looking at the opposition and
Toby
Green.
Toby Green can't fucking get into the game.
They've
They've lost players now. This is their last chance for me. If they lose this, I think they're on a slide now, And they just said the Doggies, mate. Fucking hell. They beat Richmond by 91. They could lose by 91 this week.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we got some confirmation in the comments. Engie Stadium is Giant Stadium. They've just got a new sponsor, so it's just a name change, but same stadium. Yeah. Which makes more sense. So, okay. Glad to know.
All right, I like it. Good. See, mate, we got some smart people. I should get some of these people onto the show. At least they know what they're talking about.
There we go. Jason's been baiting me all night, by the way, just quietly, and he's got me again in the comments here. They will bounce back next year with Toby and Dusty in the same side in 2025.
Very good. That's I like that because now he's starting to give you a jab. That's good. I like that. Give the jabs, Patrick.
No, great man as well. He's always in the comments of targeting videos, Jason. So thank you. But we move on to the next game, Marvel Stadium. St Kilda taking on Walla Yallop or Freo. Yeah, Walla Yallop, as that's how you pronounce it. But it's Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. And again, like you said, it's another danger game. Saints should win at Marvel, but they've been shit. So I really don't know. I'm going to go Saints because it's at Marvel.
I agree.
And they're going under the name Euro.
Good luck, Justin. Sorry.
St Kilda have been shit, but I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to go the safe option and going to go pick St Kilda.
Yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, St Kilda at home, mate. Yeah, obviously, yeah. I'll give that a crack. See how it goes.
Here we go, man.
And this is why I'm doing so shit at tipping this year because I can't tip against Tigers, even though I need to.
Brisbane Lions versus Richmond. So
we're not being
we've got a good time slot there. Saturday night, 7:30.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's 2 weeks in a row with the prime time slot, and it's probably 2 weeks in a row we're going to get done by 80+ points. So it's going to be grim viewing, but Richmond for me.
Brisbane.
No, I've been watching, Jace. I've been watching all night, mate.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to be Brisbane. I mean, they look okay, but it's gonna take a mighty effort for Richmond to come back and win, and then being over there. I mean, have they won over there yet?
Yeah, they've won one game, I think.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, we got to
call the draw.
He's calling that a draw. You take a draw now, wouldn't you?
100%. 100%.
Will Richmond have to forfeit the VFL this week? Why?
You got no players.
Well, I don't know. Yeah,
but don't you fill them up with non fucking VFL, non-AFL players?
But just quietly, our VFL team is absolutely flying at the moment. That's it. I wish it would transcend. Sunday I was sitting back watching the VFL game, thinking this is actually nice football to watch. So we'll have to start a VFL show soon.
That's sad when you're watching your VFL side and you're getting excited over that.
I know. How about that?
All right.
Speaking of exciting, we move over to Sunday afternoon. The Bombers take on North Melbourne.
Sunday.
This is my flip of the coin.
I'm telling you.
Bombers for me.
There is.
I'm telling you, North will come out. They'll come out firing, mate. They were disappointing last week. Don't underestimate these bottom sides. But these are the teams that we need to beat. We get the 4 points, but don't take for granted of them because like Richmond
beat the Corton Cup.
Well, yeah, someone had mentioned that like the last 6 weeks it's the Corton Cup, but it's going to be the marshmallows, yeah. So hopefully next week I'll be eating some marshmallows. But yeah, these are the teams we need to beat. So I'm not going to jump the gun and be too cocky about it.
Everyone's going for North here, 69, 40.
They're all just stirring me up, mate. Just like you guys have been going for GWS and you went for Port Adelaide, you went for whatever, right? So
you think that was stupid? You think that was stupid to go GWS and all that and Port Adelaide?
Percentage doesn't matter to us anymore. So look, I mean, like I was saying, Rock before, and the boys, these are the games that we need to win. But anything can happen. Yeah, anything is fun. Footy's a funny game,
I don't
mate.
think they're stirring you up. I think something's happening here, mate. North by 86. North easy.
I think it's a bit of a shit stir, but that's fine.
I think the way the Bombers
money where your mouth is.
The way the Bombers played last week and the performance against GWS, because that was a huge turnaround because you guys had just barely beaten West Coast Eagles. So
they barely beat West Coast, and then they only play one quarter, maybe a quarter and a bit against GWS. And North are known to play one. They'll play one good quarter. The question is North's quarter going to be better than Essendon's quarter? Because I reckon the rest of it's going to be pretty even. So
regardless, I reckon that North will win this one.
Are you picking North?
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. I've got a feeling.
Put your money where your mouth is, mate. You want to put 100 on it, Manny?
I've got a feeling.
Manny, you want to put 100 on it?
I reckon that Essendon drugs will upset North.
I don't bet. I don't bet, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Manny goes bang.
We'll put $100 a dinner voucher. $100 dinner voucher. We'll go out to a seafood restaurant. How does that sound, Manny?
$100. What are you going to buy? $100? A couple of fucking.
Hey, listen. You
had a lobster at a
let's have a bet when you're playing a top 4 side. Yeah. Not now that North Melbourne are down on their luck.
We're back in North Melbourne, so obviously you know that S is going to win. You're just playing the game.
I know one thing, right?
Like all the other supporters have been on the chat tonight. They're bagging us.
One thing I do know.
That's why I've started this new show called the Beavis and the Butthead, or the Dumb and Dumber, Laverne and Shirley, Lauren Hardy.
You could do them on your own.
Yeah, it's all right, Manny. It's okay, mate. Go for
anyway.
North. Your tips are going to go lower.
Anyway.
Rocco,
let's move on.
All righty. Port Adelaide or
Yatapulti.
I told you, Essendon. At the end of the day, I think that you're both going to play one quarter. I think Essendon will just play a better quarter than North. That's it. And you'll just win again. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like under a goal.
One quarter wonders.
There we go.
Well, you did it last week, and you'll do it this week.
Wow.
So who is it? Port Adelaide and Hawthorn. Even though Hawthorn have won 3 out of their last 4 and are actually playing some good football, it was after their coach gave them a little bit of a ripping in the press conference there, and they've come back and they're doing well, but Port Adelaide at home.
Yeah, Port will win at home. Sorry, as Jason would like me to say, Yartapulti.
What's that mean?
Yartapulti.
That's Port Adelaide in
Is it?
in the native tongue. Yartapulti.
I put you. That sounds like Italian. Yartapulti is almost like you're a bloody vegan.
Sounds like something you want to eat.
It's because I put the Italian accent on for some reason. I don't know why. I put the Italian accent on the indigenous word. But yeah, Port.
Yeah, you did too. When you say that again, please.
Yeah, Yartapulti.
Yartapulti.
Everyone going for Port, or is there a Hawthorn in there somewhere?
Port
Adelaide.
All right.
Port.
And the last game?
Geez. I don't reckon I can pronounce the West Coast one, but West Coast take on Melbourne or Nam at Optus Oval. And it's tough traveling over there, as we know, but Melbourne will get the job done.
I reckon Melbourne will get the job done.
Yeah. Melbourne for me too.
Yeah, Melbourne should get it done. Yeah, Melbourne should get it done. They should get it done.
Well, of course.
There's a possibility that the Bombers may be sitting second at the end of this next round.
But there's also a possibility they could be sitting 7th.
And the possibility also that Carlton could be finishing 10th after this round if they lose.
But there's also a possibility we could be in the top 4 after we win.
Well, there's a possibility.
You know what the possibilities are? You can jam your possibilities up the arse and let's see what happens this weekend. So your possibility. But again, I stated this before, Mark. I could bring up round 9 last year, Fourever Rivals, and you were talking the same shit. And where did you end up? And I hope you have learned your lesson that this is a war, not a battle.
Yeah,
just remember that.
And we're fine, mate. It's okay. Look, I might as well enjoy it while we can. There we go. There we go.
Miserable. Why have false hope? Anyway, round 9, we all tipped 4. So we all went nowhere as far as leaders and nothing. We just kept each other. So Mark on 52, Rocco's 50, Manny 49, Quinn far out, bottom of the ladder, wherever you look.
I'm just being consistent with my team.
Yes.
And I tip Richmond too much. That's my problem.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard not to, man. It's hard not to. I'd rather lose than go against them. I love the banter. Cripping is tipping his own team too much. Yeah, I know. How hard is it to go against? I reckon you and BT actually would be a good show. 2 knobs.
Hey, can I just say, Quinn, were you supposed to sing just a small little part of?
No, he was just supposed to say how good they are.
Oh, was that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the ocean footage.
Come on, man. He's not going to give up on the Tigers. Rocco Moro, I know you. Are you going to give up on the Blues? Never. Come on.
Never. Quinny, you're 4th, better than 17. It's true. I'm top 4. When you look at it like that, I'm top 4 in the tipping.
You're top 4 in the tipping.
Yeah, no. If you guys had kicked straight and we're playing only the first 10 minutes of football of every game, you guys would have been top 4 easily.
I agree. I reckon you've been unlucky in kicking points. If you kick more goals, Quinny, I reckon you can win more games.
It's a good theory. We'll put it to the test.
And having said that, your percentage, even though you guys have only won 1 game, your percentage is just a bit less than the Bombers.
No, our percentage is shit house. I
And
can't
then
even
he'd go
defend.
roaming with BT as a sidekick. Oh, that would be fucking love. What's
There you
this
go.
one here? I love this show. This is my sanity check. I'm telling you, man. After this show, you got no idea, man. I'm wrecked,
Mate,
and it kind of like it takes me 3 or 4 days to kind of like just get
Just to
back
recover.
into the
if this
far
if
out.
this show is your sanity check, Jason, you've got bigger issues, mate. If this show is your sanity check.
If he's got any look, you can always send it in our email, or you can send us messages and that. If there's anything you want to see on the show, or anything you think we can change or do better or do
Well,
worse.
Before we go, Rocco, before we go, being Indigenous round,
Yep. Douglas.
I was just going to say that there's been some great Indigenous players who've
We did mention on that.
who
All
have
right.
played,
If you want to,
they've played for the mighty Pies, and one of my favourite players was Leon Davis. The premiership.
Leon.
Yep, Leon Davis, one of a real
is that your
superstar.
best, you reckon?
And he played more than 200 games for the Mighty Pies.
Is he one of your best, you reckon?
Oh, look, he would go down. I mean, apart from Bobby Hill, who's a superstar.
You can't put Bobby Hill in. He's had one good game, man. Are you serious? Bobby Hill, fucking hell, man. Are you joking? What about you, Quinny? Who's your best Indigenous player?
Well, Mark pointed out in the group chat tonight that a bit earlier that I'm probably haven't been around to see as many play. Like Maurice Rioli, obviously won a Norm Smith in a losing grand final, but too young, didn't see him. So for me, it's going to be Shane Edwards. Shane Edwards is going to be my favorite.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah. Well, I don't know. I loved Shedder growing up. He was, obviously won the flags with us and everything like that. So for me, probably Shane Edwards from Richmond. Shane Edwards.
Not Rioli, not
Daniel,
yeah.
Daniel was building his way there now, but I think because when Shane Edwards got drafted, he was sort of like I was a kid and I sort of watched him go through his whole career. I don't know if I got a bit more of a soft spot for Shane Edwards, but Rioli's building there for sure.
Marco?
Yeah, look, guys, thank you very much, Kevin Sheedy, for introducing the Indigenous round. Fantastic for football, Kevin Sheedy. Made some massive changes towards our game. But I'm going to give you my 5 top players.
Fuck that, dude.
Number 1, Gavin Wanganeen. Number 2, Michael Long. Number 3, one of my favourite players, Shea Cockatoo Collins. Number 4, Dean Rioli. And number 5, Paddy Ryder. So they're my 5 top 5 Indigenous players.
Who is number 1, Mark?
Wanganeen.
Gavin Wanganeen.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin Wanganeen was a great player for Port Adelaide.
Brilliant for Port Adelaide.
And the Essendon Football Club. His son's playing now for Essendon and deserves Tex Wanganeen. He's going to be an up-and-coming...
I mean, he shouldn't have won a Brownlow. He shouldn't have won a Brownlow.
Why?
I mean, Greg Williams had 45 and a goal in that and didn't get one vote, and the umpire admitted that he didn't give him a vote because he had something against him. So he shouldn't have won that.
Wow.
Disposals mean nothing. You can have 50 disposals. Who cares? So
what are you talking about? I mean, he had 44. What do you mean? He should have at least got 2 votes. He would have taken it. He should never have won a Brownlow.
Yeah, but he didn't give him 2 votes. He gave him nothing. So, yeah,
he would have won it there because he only won it by 1.
Essendon love dodgy Brownlows.
Mate, I'm telling you, they win that. They take the other one away.
Brownlows mean nothing.
Essendon. We are Essendon. We are Essendon. We are Essendon.
Yeah, that's short for we are yes done. Yes,
well,
we are
all,
yes
I just
done.
want to say that so the boys are putting the people are putting out some good names there for the Blues. First of all, I want to say I'm surprised that there's even a favourite in the Collingwood. The way you treat them, and you had to get like the Aboriginals there to actually take the curse off your club at one stage. So I'm really surprised. And the way that Eddie Maguire just berated him. But anyway, let's get back to the Blues. It's hard to say because I would say that City Jackson would be our best 2 premierships, but I never saw him. I did interview him, but I did meet City Jackson. But if you're doing on more current form, I mean, Eddie Betts, but Eddie Betts went over to Adelaide. So you have to say Eddie Betts was probably one of our best. And then you have people like Garlett. I also think that Andrew Walker was one of our great players, played over 200 games. He was a real star. And Yaron, he played 113 games for Carlton or whatever. I wouldn't say he was one of our greats, but when he was at his best, he was good, Yaron, mate. He, off the half back, could have been one of the best going around, you know. And then he got into, he must have got into Essendon's cabinet there, and he ended up on the drugs and got into religion, and he went to jail, and then we handballed him over to Richmond, and he never played a game, you know. So was Walker Indigenous? Yes, Walker was Indigenous. He has got his heart. Well, he's one. I think his dad was Indigenous, if you want to think. But to tell you the truth, mate, who's that? Liam Jones is Indigenous. Yeah. You know, so you know, there's all sorts of like Indigenous. Liam
Jarrah.
Oh my God, Liam Jarrah. We've had some fucking bananas come through our club, mate. All right, just quickly before we go, top 5 all time. Let's put them. Who's the best ever? I'm going to give you my nominations. It's hard to go past Buddy, and it's hard to go past Goods.
Yeah.
Buddy Franklin for me.
And Goods, I mean, Goods won too. You know, like at the end of the day, Goods didn't do himself any favors at the end of his career, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, when you actually look at it, like over 300 games, 2 grand finals, 2 Brownlows, he was actually the CUDA of, if you think about it, he could play in any position. He's fucking where Buddy was great. Really, only could have only played one position. So
what about the Cracker brothers?
Well, the Cracker brothers were very good. I wouldn't put them in the top 5, but as a unit, as 2, they were phenomenal. Yeah. When they come in the fucking 70s and 80s there, mate, the Cracker brothers, they could find themselves, mate. They were fucking unreal to watch, man. I used to love the Cracker brothers as a Coen supporter. But, yeah, who else? I mean, Michael Long, you're going to have to put right up there.
You got to chuck Polly Farmer in there as well.
Polly Farmer, you're going to have to put right up there. Well, apparently,
Nicky
McLeod.
Nicky Wimmer.
Nicky Wimmer was a champ. I met Nicky Wimmer. He's a great bloke. Yeah, the other one, McLeod. I actually think McLeod is one of the most beautiful footballers when he was on the run off the back. Far out. I used to love McLeod. And I thought Yaron was coming up to being similar. Not saying he was up to his level, but similar. That kind of running, smooth, fast. And then when they would kick, it was just smooth the way they kicked the ball, you know. So yeah, McLeod's another one. Anyone else?
I mean, you could even look at someone like a Sean Burgoyne, you know, like a Silk. It was
Burgoyne. How can you go past Burgoyne, mate? 2 clubs, 4 premierships. You know, like
Buddy played great football when he was playing for Hawthorn
and Sydney.
You know?
But I think at his best.
You know, yeah. And had he not been caught down Brighton, you know, with the car and all that, he probably would have stayed at Hawthorn.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. Like he was one that he won his premiership, and then the money was 10-year offer, 9-year offer. I think was like those days there. Who knows why he left? And then
I found
I
him.
think he wanted. He didn't
Yeah.
want to be like in the limelight here, but to say that, man, like Sydney, you're the only person there. But yeah, the Motlops, they got some good Cyril Rioli, Morris Rioli, all of them. The Kickets, mate, all those, the Kickets, the Riolis, the Motlops, they're all Robbie Muir. Robbie Muir, man, he was tough, that bloke, mate. Far out, mate. They were different days. And City Jackson, I did an interview with him just quickly, and I remember with City Jackson, I only seen his eye, but he was a great player, and he moved over from West Australia where he was, and in the first year, because he transferred over and he didn't have the transfer papers, he wasn't allowed to play in the first year.
Wow.
In 68, and they won a premiership, and he was the runner, and then he came in and won 2, and with him, the amount of abuse those players in those days would cop, not like these days, and they would take it, you know what I mean? So them, the Nicky Winmars, mate, they was a different time there, man, to get out onto the ground and then cop the abuse, and no one ever said anything, and they would just put their heads down and keep going, you know. So I think, you know, when they talk about AFL and the things they do that are good, that's one good thing they've definitely done, you know what I mean? Stop the racism and stop that. No one deserves to go out there and do that. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's it. No one else has really said anyone else. Zach Williams' salary is up there, top 5. Zach Williams is Indigenous. That's why he'll come back in this week. Barry Cable, was he Indigenous, was he? Don't know. He could have been.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's it. So, all right. So did we go? Like, who was it? Goods or Buddy as number 1?
I'd go Buddy as an impact player for me.
No, I'd go Goods.
I would go Goods too.
Because he had the goods.
He was the goods. All right, that's it. All right, I think we're done. We're done. It's 3 hours, for fuck's sake.
Hey, we were talking about cutting it down to an hour and a half.
I did say we're going to try to do 2 hours.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
But
look, if everybody loves the show,
as long as everyone's enjoying it.
That's
the
right.
Pies are getting cold again.
Awesome show, guys. See you next week. Yep, next week will be another one. They're still giving us names. No.
I'm so sad that we didn't beat the Bombers. I'm so sad.
Do you get another chance? Do you play him again?
Yeah,
that's a good question. That is a very good question, and I think we do play them. I think we do play them. So you know, last year we played them. I think it was the last game of the home and away, and we beat them quite convincingly. But having said that, the Bombers had just missed out of the 8. So you know, things may change this year.
Yeah,
this year may be something.
I would say there's some big games coming up. The fixture came out. Bombers actually got a couple of Friday games. Yeah, great show. See you next week in the Den. Yeah, always listen to the inside of the Den. So make sure you get on there. What can we say? I just want to finish off with make sure you keep this. We're going to give out all the details, but make sure you keep this date free, the 15th live event. The boys up here on screen, they're going to be there too. We'll get them up there. We'll have a bit of a debate up there. There's going to be guests. So we'll get all that ready, but it will be the 15th. It's going to be very affordable, and it'll be a good day for all of us just to all get together and meet up with everyone in the chat and that, and we can have a little bit of a laugh that night. And as I said, I don't know, man. I reckon I'm going to punch either Manny or Mark. I don't know which one, but I reckon there's going to be some sort of fight happening that day. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on.
Hey,
All
I'll bring
right.
the boxing gloves, mate.
One more thing, even though Marco, he knows nothing about the game, and you can see that. But what he does know about is cordon, security, doors, and blinds. Ring 83394848 for your quotes. And you know what? Ring him up,
Yeah,
get a quote, and tell him what you think about the Bombers, mate.
that's right. I'm happy with it. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to bite you.
Nah, he's a completely different person off camera. He's like a fucking baby off camera. You got to see him, mate. He's got white line fever more than I've seen anyone have white line fever. He is a freak, man. Right, but get on there. No, seriously, get on there. We do appreciate at the end of the day, man,
That's right.
being the sponsor of the show, man. And yeah, just get on there. And I think that's it, guys. What do you reckon?
Thank you.
What do you
Great
got?
show.
Oh, there's going to be a punch. Yeah, all right. Don't worry, I got my gloves ready too, mate.
Hey, just remember, mate.
Getting trained by Lyndon Hosking.
Hot pies, mate. Hot pies.
Cold pies. Go the mighty Bombers.
Hey, listen, thanks everyone for joining, man. We do appreciate it. It's been a big night. Thanks for everyone getting on there. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let everyone know about it. Bring it on to all your Essendon, Richmond, Collingwood supporters. Tell them to come on there. I'm happy to debate anyone on the chat. If they want to talk to me, I'm ready to go. Just the way I do these two guys. Thanks you guys for joining. And is that it?
Hot
that's it.
pies.
Go to Spuds. Go to Bombers.
Go the mighty boys. Go.